Hello everyone and welcome to Laurence Plays Foundry, because it's a Wednesday and yes, I'm going just about, this is what we tend to do on Wednesdays. Let's see, last week, what happened last week? I remember there was a lot of expansionism. I think I got the copper up and running again by expanding out to an additional copper patch over here with a nice long belt feed bringing the copper ore over to the old copper mine and then up into the existing copper smeltery. So that went quite nicely. Was it last week? Yes, so that was also when I went to go and get some more coal as well. So there's an additional coal mine over here, bringing it to an airport, which is then bringing it down to the old coal airport down here. So that's working quite nicely. I think I realised that I was using too much power, so one of the things I want to do is expand my solar even further. But unfortunately, to do that, I think I need a few more of these little glowing battery guys down here. And they're dribbling slowly along the belt over there, very slowly. And they're all getting eaten up by science packs, because we're trying to do some science once again. So that's another thing that I'm going to need to think about. I also know that the steel belt seems to be a little underwhelming. And so maybe I should put in some more steel production. The question is, where do I do that? Do I have enough iron ore and other similar problems, other similar questions? Although notably there is an additional belt bringing some up from down here. So we have slightly more than it looks like looking at this belt. There is some being brought in from here as well. So we've got some going along here, but it is all getting used up clearly because, well, the belt isn't backing up. So those are a few things I'm going to need to do. I also want to have a look at spaceship fuel because we've had to start buying that again recently. So it'd be nice to have another machine down here making the spaceship fuel. Is it you? Yes, it is. Another machine like this one, but it's got so many different inputs that I don't know what to do. That I won't be able to put it in here, so it's going to have to go somewhere. Maybe above. Above seems like a good option, except then I need to bring lots and lots of different solid resources up, and that's a little bit harder as well. So there's a number of different options here, so we'll have to see how that goes. Yeah, the energy cells. So I did bump up the energy cell production quite a bit last time in a number of different ways. So, yeah, they're coming along here. Actually, we do have a solid red. Is that a solid red belt of them coming out? It is as of right now. Maybe I should upgrade this belt. Or maybe it's just that they come out in bursts and then, yes, then we get a gap like that. So there's no need to upgrade the belt just yet. I just need more and more production. So we'll have to have a look at that as well. So maybe that's going to be another thing to build up along the top of here. So yeah, many things to do. So that's going to be fun. Hello everyone, and thank you very much to the resub Playnot. 16 months, yes. I don't want to know what you're saying is legal at. It is almost legal at 16 months. I don't know what the laws are where you are, so that's very concerning. And hello as well, regular. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you around. So where to begin? I think the best place to begin, or the most sensible place to begin, is going to be with these things, because we need so many more of those in order to, yes, partly to make these yellow science packs here, but then also to make the battery packs that are being made along here somewhere. I think it's this machine. Yes, there it is. And then a little bit over, and then still have some available for over here, where they're being made into solar panels. I say being made into solar panels, they're not being made into solar panels because there aren't any. So yeah, there's a bit required there. You're quite right, Bob. I mean, it's not a serious problem. It's just I'm trying to be self-sufficient, basically, and so I want to produce as much of these things myself as I can. Just for the sake of it, really. I know I don't need to, and I could just buy all of the spaceship fuel, but I feel like there's something nice about actually doing it properly, and there's very strong air quotes over properly there. But yeah, a little bit, but actually trying to do it all myself, should we say? Right. So I'm going to need iron and glass, and green circuits and green juice. All up on the next level. I'm also going to need more glass by the looks of it. Oh no, we do just about have enough. That just needs to be a faster belt, but there is enough coming through here. So right, let's start off by. Shall I just build it at the same height as that one, or shall I have a sort of a mezzanine floor thing? Because if I want to build, I can build at this height to go over these machines. I can even build at this height to be on top of these machines. So I don't feel it's actually necessary to go all the way up to there. In fact, these ones, they're less than half the height. So yeah, let's put in a second one here like this. But actually, I'll leave one square gap just because I think it's going to look nicer. And then I shall build in an area of a somewhat floored area like this to go all the way across to here. And you know what? Actually, we'll build over to this vertical bit as well. So it looks like it's kind of supported. Okay, I say kind of supported. It needs a bit of this as well to hold it up. There we go. Right, and it needs more than that really, but this will do for a start. And I think to begin with, I'm going to just copy paste this, and then I'm going to worry about the inputs afterwards, because that seems like a logical way to do it. So let's get out the copy paste-o-matron, and I would like to do a new area. So yeah, we'll start with falling out of the sky apparently. Then we'll start with that belt. Oh, we need all of these machines as well, because we need the. Hang on, what actually goes into one of these things? Let's check. You. Iron. Okay, we thought about that. Glass. We thought about that. Oh, we don't need green circuits. Okay, we need copper instead to make into electronic components. Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't build the green circuit belt up there. So I guess that means I'm actually going to need this much from here to about here. And then to about here, and we'll confirm that copy, and then we'll try and put that in here somewhere. Kind of like, what are you doing? You're just being awkward, aren't you? Well, we'll put you, okay, well, since we can, we'll put you, I had it a moment ago, we'll put you, alright, we'll put it there, and then we'll adjust it so that it's in the right place. Okay, so we want to go this way quite a bit. In fact, I could have done this from this side. Okay, that's in the right place now. We want to go down one. Boop, like that. We're going to block a load of stuff in there, but that's fine. We're going to have a load of missing foundation here, but that's fine too. This is somehow not directly lined. Oh, wait, what are these? These are not lined up. Oh, these are not lined up. Right, okay. Oh, I see. My belts are further across. Okay, fine. We'll do that then. And yeah, we need a little bit more that way. There we go. I think that's now lined up with the other system that we had before. It looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that's good. So let's paste that. See what we actually get. Okay, I need more fluid inserters. No, fluid assemblers, and I need more short inserters. So let's go and get some of those. Short inserters are just over here. So we can grab them. Yoink. And fluid assemblers. Jeez, where are fluid assemblers? Transformer pump. That's a rock. That's not very useful. Must be on the next tier. Let's close that, because then I can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Just let's pump jack, casting machine, freighter level lava smelter, turbine pipe intake, power line, large transformer. Large... Please bear with me. This is going to take me a. There's a lot of machines that aren't in use along here. Fluid assemblers. That's the bunny. Yoink. Right. So now we can redo the confirm paste, and then we can have a look, see what we've missed. And there are some conveyors that are missing. Fine, we'll sort those out. There is a light pole. Don't care about that. So it's just some conveyors. Is that because I've run out? It is because I've run out of conveyors. Okay, let's get some more of those as well. While I'm here. Yoink. And then we'll paste again. Right. So there we go. This is an approximation of production. We don't need this belt going up the middle here. So let's remove that, because that's the one. Oh yeah, different tools have different UEs, which is really bugging me. Right, so we'll remove all of that, and we'll remove all of that. There we go. So that's that. That was the unnecessary. That's the belt that's bringing the greens through at the bottom there. Now we should have some sort of flooring for all of this, because this looks ridiculous with a gap in the middle. So we'll improve on that a little bit up to here, and then we'll go. Then we'll go. What the hell? Don't be like that. Then down here, right? We don't want a ramp going up here, because that's utter nonsense. We're going to need a ramp going down, but we'll deal with that in a moment. move that. Alright, actually let's put it back again. Let's have that. Okay. So now we need, okay, still need more flooring over here. So we'll do that as well. And then that's going to need a belt to bring the copper in. Did I just get landed on by a spaceship? I did, and it hurts. It hurt less than you would imagine. Right, so copper input there. That's just a pass-through belt, I think. Yes, that's just a pass-through, so we don't need that. That's a pass-through, so we don't need that. Did I run out of? What? Oh, there's a there's a pump in there poking through the floor. Right. Okay, the one by one stand, the signs I've been just attaching directly to the front of the machine, so that's nothing to do with copy paste. I don't know why they're oh, maybe it's because I didn't select to not have a stand. Right, so the pump in there, but I don't think that matters as long as I can still put in a long inserter along here. So right, that's going to be, yeah. So we need. I don't know why the long inserters haven't appeared. That's a bit weird. We need one there. We need one there, and so on, like this, forever and ever, all the way to the end like that. Right, okay. So that's now those internal things, pass-throughs being done, and then over here we have the iron and the glass coming in, and I need to get those up here somehow, and I need to get the copper up to over those ones. Let's do the copper first, because just because. Copper's going in a million different directions around here. There's many belts of it. I think they're all being fed by the same one, so it doesn't really matter where I tap it from. So let's go in here because it's already slightly further up. Hang on, wait a minute. They're not all coming from the same one. Well, they're all feeding to the same. Yeah. I could pull this one out and feed that up. Yeah, let's pull this one out and feed that up there for the time being. So I want that to go that way, and then I'm going to drop down to reds because I don't need that much speed here. Are you one up? Yes, you are. If I do that, and then I join them together like this, like this, and go, stop that. And then the same again at the top here. I'm thinking I can probably use a copy paste to finish this off and get it to the right height, because that's going to be easier than doing the whole thing by hand. And also you can be red as well, because then I can copy and paste it. Right, so now if I get the copy matron out again and I want to do a select area, I want to get that to there and to there. No, it's gone one wide, that's a fail. Let's try that again. Select area. From here to here to... Actually, only to here. Because then I can do confirm copy and place, and I go blip, blip, like that, and confirm paste. And then if I remove that and that, then I can bring a belt from here to up. I want it to go up one, like that, and lock. Oh no, that and that and that. There we go. So there's my copper coming in. Lovely. Yeah, you're right. As you say, it's the sort of thing as for aesthetic reasons, I might as well try and get these things right, but it doesn't actually matter for the function of the factory. So, but then you're quite right. It's nice to try and make the factory look good. So over here, let's get rid of that and that and that and that and that. Then I guess I'll split this glass belt here because why not? Oh, actually, I've had a thought. I could bring it up from here and run the belt in the opposite direction. I'm not going to be able to do the same with the iron because there is pipework in the way. But the glass. What if I go? Place. Yes, there we go. Ooh, it's another big one. No, it isn't. Right, so that's sort of the wrong way around. I want to mirror this. How do I... Oh, there we go, mirror. Nice. I knew the option was in there, I just couldn't remember where. So, you're going to want to go there. And then if I drag it... No, that's not right. So just place that and confirm paste. Drag it up. Confirm paste. Drag it up. Yeah. Confirm paste. And then try and... Okay, that's fine. Then I can just put in this belt here. And then, granted, I have to remove all of this belt because, unlike a certain other game I could mention... What are you doing? Stop it. Stop being wrong. Unlike a certain other game I could mention, you can't change the direction of a belt by dragging over it. So I want from there to there. Let's remove that. I also want flooring out here because this looks weird and wrong and stuff. So we'll do that. Then I can bring that belt along from here. Oh, stop that. I also could do with an undo option because I do things like this far too often. Right, so I now bring this belt along here. And that's the glass. Now I just need to get the iron out of there. Actually, there's room here for another one of those spiral animatrons, I think. No, there isn't. There's only 3 squares and we need 4. That's a shame. Actually, if I remove that and that, and put that back because I didn't mean to remove that, and we'll remove that for now, because then I can make that go this way and that way, and then I can put in an up ramp like that. And actually, I wanted it to, in theory, I wanted that to be a little bit further out, but no matter, because I can then do that, and oh no, the pipe's going to be in the way. I could move this pipe, probably. Yeah, I reckon I can move the pipe. Let's move the pipe. What did I pick up? Oh, I picked up some belts. Don't break the belts. There we go. Right, so now I can have this pipe go, sorry, this belt go that way and that way. And then it's time for another paste thing. Yes, I want to place you somewhere else. I want to put you down there, and yes, you need to be mirrored again. If I put you there, then I can drag you up to, yes, that's the right place, I think. Yes, that's right. And then paste up, paste. And how high are you? If that isn't too personal a question. All right, let's remove this belt first. From there to there. Boom. Oh, it took out all the inserters as well. Ah, rage. That was not supposed to happen. Then the belt comes from here somewhere. Like that. To there. Lock that point. Then drop down one. Lock that point, that point, that point, and go that way. There we go. And there's the iron coming in, but there's now no inserters anywhere along here because I accidentally demolished them all. So let's fix that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why is there 7 along here? That's a very weird number. I mean, I know why. It's because that's how many fitted. But still, it still seems a bit weird. Right, okay, so that's now flowing those 2 inputs in. I just need to sort out this pipe again that I broke earlier. I was hoping to run it through this gap here, but that is not actually a gap. So I'm not going to be able to do that. I don't know where you're from, Playnot, but I don't think voting is allowed at 16 months, or even slightly more than 16 months, for legal reasons. This is more problematic than I was intending. I piped myself into a corner. And I could bring it out here and then up, I suppose. And then over. And that's ridiculous, but, you know, it'll work. Let's make some spaghetti. Boom. And then one of these. Oh, no, not there. Needs to come up further first. Try it again. That goes there. Then we go to a corner. And then we rotate it like that. Then we do an upwards like this. Then we go, why am I not using the clever pipe dragomatron? And it's because it's not, mostly because it's not quite as clever as it thinks it is, unfortunately. Right, so take you out and then put one of these in here. Right. Okay, so that's, I mean, it's not fixed because we still don't have any liquid in any of these pipes. It needs to come from down, all the way down here. But now at least I can bring it up and over the top and plug it into here, which is kind of awful, but, you know, I'll go with it. Whatever. Put that like that, in case I ever need any more upwards from here. And I'll whack this on here. That. And this can come across to... Whoop. Where do I want it to come across? Probably out here, I guess, in line with this pipe, because why not? And then pipe down. Like that. That. Try and get these heights correct. There we go. Then there's another funny corner. No, needs to rotate like that. And then pipe from here to there. And right, that should now all start working again. So we should get, yes, there we go. We've got these things coming out of here. This may be a still, I'm not quite sure. And then up here, we should get these machines working. Are they working? Are you a happy bunny? No. Why are you not a happy bunny? Because you're filling up with alumic acid. Oh, now you're working. Okay, so hopefully we are producing the alumic acid fast enough that I haven't just broken everything by doubling the amount of it we're consuming over here. I am cautiously optimistic, but only slightly, but only cautiously so. So now we get to bring another. Now we get to do another spirally belty thingy. Oh, that's another research done. Yes, it is. Awesome. Air intake, sweet. So I need to look in. Ah, yes, I was going to look into blast furnace type things and see if that was going to be relevant to my steel expansionism's requirements. And then I got distracted by doing crimes against spaghetti. Stop that. Stop putting things in the wrong place. Actually, let's move you across one extra, like that. Then rotate. Then ramp down. Not there. Oop. Yes, there. And again, like, nope, that goes into that machine. Because I want to link it onto here. Oh, that is the right height. Excellent. That's much easier than I was expecting it to be. I thought I had more down to do before I got to there. But right, if I link that in there, then we can have an additional outpouring like this. And you know what? I'm going to upgrade this to yellows across here, because I think that's going to be a good idea. Yeah, I sort of thought, I mean, I'm hoping that we're not going to be consuming all of these energy cells, because the fact that I've doubled them, hopefully, is going to be, I'm going to have, a doubling is hopefully going to be enough to keep the voracious more of my factory happy. It probably isn't, but I'm sort of hoping it will be. So yeah, let's go and check on that alumic acid pipe. Or alternatively, just get tangled up in my own spaghetti. Yeah, it's... Yeah, I think that's okay. I think there was just a sudden pull out of it. It's about half full, but that's going down slowly. It got to 6,700 last time. This time it only got to 66 something. So yeah, we are using it up slightly faster than we're making it. However, he says in tones of eternal optimism. Yeah, down here, the batteries, the energy cells, sorry, are getting past the science machines sometimes. like that. So they're going into battery production, and battery production is finite, unlike science production, which goes forever. But battery production is finite, so once that fills up, they'll then pass them on to solar panel production, which will fill up, and then we'll get a backlog, I think. So yeah. Okay, but blast furnace is big, is it? Well, no, I haven't seen an image of it yet. Actually, let's wave one at the map and see what at the screen and see what happens. Oh no, I won't be able to wave one at the screen because I haven't got one. But I can look in the construction area. There's my. Oh no, it's a pipeline to pump. Pipeline to pipe pump. Oh, pipeline is a big pipe, presumably. Okay, here we go. That's an incinerator, resource separator. Oh, arc furnace, advanced smelter. All right, we shall use the search. Blast. Dratton blast. Oh no, we're still researching it. Okay, so we don't actually know about it yet. So I will just remain ignorant and entertained and see how things go. Right. So while I was doing that, I did end up with quite a lot of trash in my inventory. So let's come into the middle here and say, here, take my everything. And actually, while I'm at it, you might as well take the batteries that I inevitably picked up as well, because I don't want these, and you can dump them onto a belt where they'll be useful. At least you could if the belt wasn't full. The fact that the belt is full is pretty awesome, actually. Then I can zoop around here, and I'm pretty sure I picked up some copper as well, so let's stick that into there. There we go. Okay. So that is now twice as many energy cells, and I think that's valuable. I think we need energy cells in healthy quantities. Modular buildings. I don't see them here, but we'll worry. I'll see them when I unlock them, and it'll be all the more exciting for having waited. You know, it would have been so much easier to just run the pipe up on this end over here rather than sticking it out over there. But never mind, it's done. It's done now. I'm not going to fiddle with it. I am going to consider putting in some supports here though, because to be honest, it looks kind of silly with it being supported in one place, then just cantilevered. And I guess that means I should put one in for this corner as well, which is probably here. There we go. Yes, I've got a couple of modular buildings. I've got the radio tower there and the scanner building over here. The scanner building, to be honest, I mean, it's big compared to things I've built out of my pockets, but it's not that big. So yeah, I can imagine I can imagine and entirely understand there's going to be much larger buildings in my future, and I'm fine with that. I'm looking forward to large buildings. These things are not large buildings, despite being large, probably in fact despite being larger than that thing, but I can still build these from my pockets, so who knows. And that one is a large building that I didn't need to build from modular things, because well, you need that to build the modular building, so you kind of can't. It'd be a bit of a chicken and an egg problem. Okay, I don't see any backing up on the belts here, but I do feel like we have a significantly healthier number of the energy cells coming through now. Oh yeah, look, some of you even made it past the battery machine now to go off and be made into solar panels. So I'll be able to improve that, improve my solar farm again at some point in the future. It's so big, it's disappearing off into the haze over there. Okay, so that was the first thing on the list. And I think that was probably the most important, because as Bob said, I don't have to make the spaceship fuel down here on the planet. It can be just bought in space. But sadly, this one machine is not fast enough, and this is going to give me the same sort of problems with expansion, because it takes in three solids and two liquids. Fluids are easy actually. Strangely enough, fluids are really easy because you can run a pipe. You can run a pipe wherever you like. It doesn't care about directions. But the solids are a little bit more difficult. I could bring the coal up and crush it higher up. That wouldn't actually help. I could... No, that's about it. There's nothing else I could really... I don't think there's anything else I could do here apart from just run these belts up more spiral things like that over there. And to be honest, at that point, I feel like I might just be better off building this somewhere else. What fluids do you take in? you take in liquid fuel and water. Well, water's easy enough. Water's everywhere. Liquid fuel, there's a pipe somewhere for it. I don't know. There it is. I see it. Maybe I'd probably be better off making my spaceship fuel somewhere else. Maybe in this area over here, and then bringing over the various resources required, and building it with more machines over here. So yeah, let's reckon on doing that. And so in an attempt to sort of to get a little bit ahead of myself, I'll pull up that pylon and that pylon because they're not doing anything. And then I shall get out this tool and say, I don't like this hill, please remove it. So I need to fly down a little bit. I kind of want to go up one from there, which is a little bit weird, but alright, we'll start from here and say I want to get from there to about... Ooh, is that some weird overlap? That is some weird overlap. Let's say I want to go, in that case, we'll go from here to about, yes, and why not? And then also same over here, where I shall go from here to the same sort of place over this way, and then down to what I'm sort of currently considering to be ground level, which is here. And right, there we go. So now we can get the drones will come over and tidy all that up for me. There they are already. Crikey, I got up to 4 of the... Oh yes, of course, because I was digging a massive pit over somewhere over there for extra stone mining. And so I built up more and more and more of these guys because it was taking too long. I remember. Okay. So that's sort of all right. I think I'll let the blast furnace finish before I start trying to make more types of more methods for making steel, because there's a decent chance that that's going to get me some steel somehow. In the meantime, aha! Look at that. Those energy cells are starting to back up along the bus. That's fantabulous. Let's come down here then and see how many solars have we got. We've got 15 of them. That's a good start. Let's go and rub our face against the assembly machine. Let's take some of those and some of those. And some of the cables as well, power line, because I always run out of that. Gimme. And then, how much foundation have I got? 1100. I don't know if 1100 is going to be enough, actually. Let's get another 2 stacks. Bonk. Not you, you. Right, what's in here? Okay, miscellaneous machinery. Fair enough. I should try and remember that this is all here when I start wanting to do something else, like setting up more assembly line stuff. Otherwise, I'll just grab more, and it'll just end up being a box of shame forevermore. No, I didn't get the soil processing update. I did have a look though, and tried to work out how to get it, and it didn't really seem to work, and I don't really know what I was doing wrong. So no, I still haven't got the sort of soil processing. Right, I would like to select an area, and I would like to select an area from here. I've got 1, 2, 3 banks. So from 1, 2, 3, so that's to here, and we come all the way over to here. What the hell has happened over here? Oh, it was a graphical glitch. Right, okay. No, here, and then to here. Yeah, there's some kind of... That is a spectacular graphical glitch that is allowing me to see all the way down to the upside down. I don't believe I've accidentally dug that area out. I think that's just the graphics. I think that's just a few chunks not drawing properly. Probably because my computer is struggling, because the game's got so big. Confirm copy in place. Yeah, someone let the devs know. I found a bug. I am not 100% convinced by the cabling going on over here, but we'll come back and worry about that in a moment. If I try and go again, I mean, obviously I'm not going to have enough, but let's tidy up and get ready to put a thing in there anyway. And confirm the paste, see what we get. Right, so I need another 5 batteries, another 53 solar panels to do this paste. That is going to take a long time. There are a lot of cables going sort of crossways along here, and that bothers me. It bothers me even more that there's no obvious way of telling which ones are connected up properly. Because it should be based on the cable lengths. Yeah, I need to link in the battery pack separately, like this. Right, you're not connected to anything. So that presumably needs to be connected to there. And then over here, I guess I can connect these two together. But why isn't it just running all... Oh, it's because I built the whole thing in two separate chunks, that's why. Okay, that's sort of fair enough. I'm not entirely sure I like it, but it makes sense. So I guess I'll go with it. I think I'm on to here, and here, and here, and here. And then I need to go and get the other 53 solar panels and then finish off connecting everything up. I think it usually does paste the cables. I have to admit, I'm not certain of that, though. I may just be being... It may be because I've just been dropping blueprints in multiple times or something like that. We've used them all up now. We've made another 12, though. That's a start. And I need 5. Actually, it's because all the batteries are being pulled in here to make... Well, batteries. I want half of those. There we go. And do K and open the Dubry up and confirm paste. Is that all the batteries? That's all the batteries. Nice. I just need another 41 solar panels. So we'll come back to that, I suspect, because I don't think I'm going to get those anytime particularly soon. Because all the batteries all this energy cells that are making it through past here are now just being gobbled up to make batteries. But that's kind of okay. It's sort of expected. Yeah, I mean, it should paste it. The cables do. I think the cables do get pasted, but someone, yeah, Sakatira was saying that the cables don't paste the first time because the machines aren't there. And I'm doing multiple pastes anyway because I keep running out of machines. So, yeah. And then I'll go and check on it eventually. Okay, that is progress. I've got energy cells coming out through at a much faster rate. I don't have enough solar panels yet, but that doesn't mean they're at least getting built again. The rocket fuel I'm just going to ignore for now because that's going to be a bit of a pain in the wasp name to actually upgrade. So we'll just ignore that and come back to it some other time. So there is the concern about the steel, but that's waiting for the blast furnace research to finish. So does that mean it's time to build another type of robot? Let's talk to the space station and see what it thinks. Because there's probably going to be some robots that I'm short of. Products, here we go. Like mining drones I don't seem to be making fast enough. Some of these are a little bit light, actually unintentional, believe it or not. But yeah, let's go and check out the mining drones. It may just be not enough buildings making them. If you were a mining drone, where would you be? With maintenance drones. There we go. Here's mining drones. So they're coming from here, which is this row of machines. Yeah, they're all happily in use. We just don't have enough machines. Okay, well that's a relatively easy one. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to lose my copy of what I've copied from the other area, the power generation area. But never mind. I still want to expand this. Oh yeah, I need to select an area. Right, so we'll go from here to... It's a bit gross and excessive, but I'm just going to double it because why not? So we'll go out to here and then up to... It doesn't matter. Then I shall confirm copy in place. Then I shall get out of the way because this is going to be kind of silly. Then we'll bring this up and I want to do a demolish terrain, demolish decor, there isn't any decor, and I want to do a confirm paste. And I'm missing nothing. Excellent, even the sign went in. Sweet. So that's good. Let us now actually demolish all of this though, because that looks ridiculous. So we'll take out and I guess oh, that was more than I expected. Okay, and this bit as well then. Pew! And well, no, that's fine. Right, so and it's disappearing slightly underground there, but that's a. Why is it disappearing under? Oh, it's not disappearing underground. It's just going right up to the edge there. That's fine. Okay, so we've got a lot of mining drone signs. Let's pick up some of these signs because I don't need to label every other machine. I only need to label the lane. You can tell I've already used copy paste along here, can't you? To get up to apparently to get up from 2 machines to 6, and then from 6 to bajillion. So there we go. There's a lot more of them coming out now. That's going to help quite a lot, and supply seems to be holding on. That's true. Making another type of robot will make resource shortages worse. What's going on here? Oh, it's ammunition of some sort. That's taking in all of the explosives, and then some. So I need a lot more explosives by the looks of it. If I just do one of the drones, that might be quite quick, though. Let's start working on a drone production facility anyway. I know it's a bit unnecessary, but sorry, a bit premature probably. But 1, 2, 3, inserter. 1, 2, 3, inserter. 1, 2, 3. So that's the maximum width I can do with a single assembly machine. Can be. So let's go for that to start with. Right, and now let's think about what drone have I not done yet. So if we have a look at the space station again, that's got a nice convenient list, and it's easier than going anywhere else to look at them. So in storage, we are missing cleaning bots, we are missing snack bots, and we're missing science assistant drones. And then the big guys, the farmer robot, the miner robot, and the combat robot. We'll come back to those when I've got a bit more time and space and brain space. So let's have a look at the. Let's start with the cleaning robot, just because it's first in the list, and then we'll worry about which ones are most valuable another time, maybe. So cleaning bot is that guy, and that's got 5 inputs, one of which is an energy cell. Great. And most of them are actually pretty easy. So I notice we've got polymer board here, or oh, I see. We've got polymer board here, but it's not very available. We do also have iron, though, which it also needs. That's convenient. So if I do this and this, then we've got 2 of our ingredients here. Although one of them is then going to be something I can't get at, but that's fine. Oh, no, it's not. Because if I go back and look in here again, CleanBot has 5 inputs, but it's also going to have an output. So we need all 6 lanes for this guy. What about the other ones we're missing? That's 5 as well. That one's only 4, and that doesn't require plastic. Is it? It's not. I think it's probably. Let's just bring the iron in again because that seems easier. I think so. We'll have an iron belt coming in here. We'll have a hammer belt coming in here. Then we've got inserter, machine, inserter. 2 more input belts. And an output belt. There we go, just like that. And then we'll, we've got tier 3 machines. Let's just use those. There's no point in using the little guys. So we'll put you in there. And you're going to be making it was cleaning bots, wasn't it? Yes, we'll have you making cleaning bots. Okay. Double clicking does not work. This is not Factorio. Yeah, so making little Roombas over here, and then we're going to need iron, mechanical parts, green circuits, and batteries. There's iron. And as I've learnt, you need to bring things in sort of from the. You need to bring in the ones that are furthest over this way first for any block of inputs. So where is everything? Well, here's green circuits, so let's extend that. And that's copper, explosives, don't need either of those. Iron, we've talked about. Where are my normal machine components? Are they on? Oh, there they are, under there. I keep getting my exhaust plume in the way and I can't see. So we'll start there and we'll go backwards. And then we'll start here again and we'll go forwards. And I've run out of belts again. Joy. Let's go and get some more belts. Doody-doody-doody-doo. Ooh, do I have a launch pad? No. Okay, so I could do one of those as well. We need to go back to the mall. It's over here. Belt one. Right, you know, I'm getting through so many of these extending the bus that I'm going to come and grab some more from down here as well. Is it you? No. Yes. The launch pads were fairly straightforward to build, I think. Spaceship pad, here we go. They just need that... oh, they just need one of those put in. I put loads of those in, so let's just take that. Gimme. Right. That might be enough to let me finish. 17 ramps, 29 splitters. Probably, that should be enough, I think. Oh, but there's a hill in the way. We're going to need to do something about that. At least I realise now, rather than in about half an hour when I came along and wanted to put something in here. So yeah, as I'm continuing, I'm going to continue putting the launch pads on this side over here. So that means this hill is a problem. So we'll get rid of it. Well, we'll get rid of a big chunk of it like that, and then we'll come over here and go, okay, let's get rid of another big chunk of it. Whoop, there's a bit in the way there. So I want to go. It's about 30. I'm doing about 30 by 30 by 30. Because sometimes when you go bigger than that, it'll let you go slightly bigger, and then it'll complain like that. So yeah, there's another bug there in that if you try and drag this thing too big, I mean, yeah, sure, have a maximum size, that's fine, but don't break when you draw up all the way up to the maximum, because that is not fine. Whoop! I got punted by a spaceship again. Right, okay, so there we go. That's actually is. Oh yeah, that'll do. We can squeeze it in over there somewhere. Okay, so we are bringing in. What are we bringing in? We're bringing in those things. Now those are all the way over here, so those should probably be going in first. But there isn't room, so they'll have to go in first on this side. So I'll put in a splitter. Let's see. So it needs a corner, and it needs an up. So that needs to go there. I think I've got that in line. I don't know which side is where the gaps are supposed to be at this point. Right, so I've got that there. So there's another. Right, let's come over to here. So this one, we've got a thing coming up there. So that's the gap. So there'll be a bus lane here and here, and therefore then there'll be one here and here, which means actually this should be pressed right up against the wall, which is fine. Actually, to be honest, that makes sense. It's a little bit more space efficient. So I'll put you there. Then I put in a ramp coming up from there, like so, and that's in the wrong place. And I guess it doesn't matter in this particular case. It's just a little bit messy. Let's get it right. Might as well try and get things right occasionally. So let's put the ramp in first because I'm essentially counting backwards from it. So put that one in there, and then that goes in there, and then I can put in the belt from there to join up with that one, and boom, just like that. That's our mechanical components. Then we need to do iron, which is going to. Can I fit iron in here? Right, maybe. So iron. No, I could put iron here. And then run the belt from there to there. And then another splitter. Splitters can go in underneath belts, but ramps can't. So, which makes a certain sense because the ramps are going up. No. In the gap down there. There we go. Right, so there's my iron. The tricky... Oh, I'm not going to be able to get anything into this one. I'm going to have to go up... Yeah... Oh, it's kind of broken. No, I can't put this here. It's going to have to be something else. Because I'm not going to be able to get something further away. Oh, actually, yes, I could. Oh, I've got this wrong. That's coming out on the wrong side. No, this is coming out on the wrong side. I'm going to need to fix that. Yeah, okay, this is why I want an undo, because actually I've changed my mind. I can do this, because, let's do this bit first. Right, so you are actually supposed to not be there. That was supposed to be go there, then with a down ramp going in there and joining onto that. Like so. There we go. And I've picked up a few bits and pieces that I don't want, so let's come along here and try and drop them into these machines. There we go. Oh, for some reason there's a gap there. I don't know how that... Oh, probably from me messing around with things. Right, so there we go. That's in the right place now. So that means I can then come along here and I can continue this belt whee, across here like that, which means I can then have... So we've got a corner, goes there, ramp, like that. Splitter, I think. So now we put the, no, it's a pipe. Put the splitter in. Come on. So, oh, that was the right place. Splitter goes there. Ramp goes. Ramp doesn't fit. Ah. It's never easy. Let's put the ramp in here then, which is awful because it's going to mess with my copy pasting, but that's the best I've got at this point. Then we can run that from there to there. Not entirely convinced by that, but it's worked. But I don't like having that ramp there. It's a bit of a shame, but it means we can. Yeah, it's in there. It'll work. So I'm gonna leave it for now. I'm gonna put that there, and then there's a big difference between the clipping boxes for where the edges of a thing is, and the and actually selecting that thing, so where the thing visually is. So, for example, if I get to here. And if I press, if I look here and press Q, I'll probably get a pipe like that, because it's seeing anywhere inside the cube of the pipe, rather than seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, but never mind. Okay, so there's 4 of my inputs. What's the other one? Green circuits. Green circuits coming over here. Right, this one's going to be comparatively simple because I can bring a belt over from here. But I do need to work out which side. Okay, so I have another belt there, so the gap will be here. So my belt goes to here like that, and then I can put in a ramp here like so, followed by a splitter in here. No. Followed by a splitter here, and then a belt along here. Boom! Lovely. Then it's inserter time. Can insert this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you are to be an output. An outserter. An output. There we go. The hill is still there. That's taking far too long. Come on, bots, sort it out. I guess we'll come back and deal with that later. In the meantime, I will help them a little bit. I'll get rid of this bit on the front that I couldn't select. I could go in and get my bots to help, but then I'd have to sit around here, and I can't be bothered. Get rid of a little bit of that though, and that. Weird floating rocks and weird floating places. And that is going to be a weird floating rock, so let's get rid of it. Okay. Oh, when these bits stick. And there's a sticky outy bit over here as well, so we don't want that. And there's going to be some weird sticky outy bits here. Get rid of that. Okay, that's a little bit tidier. You know, I should probably put in some soil in down here as well. Just fill in the holes from my errant lasering, basically. Right. Okay, so we'll leave those guys at it. They're having to fly quite a long way, which I think is why it's taking so long to remove the hill. Hello, Madman. I think foundrying is going quite well. I'm currently I've just built up a single machine to make a new type of drone for selling, and that's going quite well. It has made some. I'm probably going to need like 4 or 5 of them, and then I'm going to start worrying about what resources I'm short of, because I think I'm out of steel. I think I'm a bit short on steel. Now, this particular one isn't using steel directly, but I expect something. Actually, no, I don't think any of these things do use steel, so that might be all right. Oh yeah, under a gigajoule jetpack fuel. Let's go and get some more of that. Try and fly between all of these ships that are raining down out of the sky. Yeah, let's get the jetpack fuel, because was it last week or was it the week before? There was a time fairly recently where I ended up running out completely and had to run across half the world to try and find some more, and it was very annoying. Right, here we go. Jetpack fuel. Yoink. Take some of that. So yeah, my current plan is to research up the blast furnace and then have a look at that and find out what it can do. What can a blast furnace do for us? And I think it's going to be, hopefully it's going to make my production of various things a bit quicker and allow me to have a bit more throughput, or maybe more efficient. Either way, that's going to be a good thing. Ooh, I think I sense dessert arriving. Thank you very much. Nom nom nom. Pudding. Right. So you know what? While I'm here and sort of messing around with this, let's at least copy paste this a couple of times over, because this is not going to be enough. So we'll take 3 across there and all the way across to. This is going to be very, very wrong for the first one, but that's okay. I can tweak it. So we'll do that. We will confirm copy and place, and then we'll move it that way, and then we'll do a paste there. Tell you what, if you can get here, if you can get here before I finish the dessert, then you can have some. Actually, that seems to have worked. Now, I think it's only because I had an extra piece of belt sticking out from each of these, but even so, I'm still quite pleased that that's worked. It appears to be some sort of caramelly, moussey thing with a biscuity base thing. Looks good. Tastes good too. Can recommend. Especially as I think it was free. Came free with a HelloFresh order. We got some free puddings as well, which is always appreciated. I'm just going to paste in another one, I think. And by one I mean 2. And then I'm going to fix it, because I think there's going to be a belt. Yeah, there's going to be that. That is clearly wrong. So let's get rid of that. And let's extend that. And okay, that's where it finishes. Extend that. Why do you not want to extend underneath here? What is going on? Oh, okay. Maybe there's some belt there. Okay, well, that seems to be working. All the resources are there. All the machines are running. Right. Okay. Are you full already? Why are you looking sad? You're missing one of your inserters. Let's give you your inserter. Oh, that's because the ramp got put in instead of the inserter, which is not the way around I would have chosen, but never mind. Okay, so good. That's now all set up and should be fully operational. Hello, Origin. Yes, indeed, a Foundry stream. I've been. I think this is my 18th one, as far as based on the number I put on it at the start. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think Foundry is, at least currently, is my second favourite factory game. Yeah, very, very, very pleased with it. I could put my launch silo for these cleaning bots over here, like right next to this one, but I feel like space is cheap. Let's line them up, and we'll just have to wait for the drones to eat this mountain. It's a very tasty mountain, but they've. Oh no, here's one of them back again to drop some more craft things down. So I did notice earlier that I'm very short of explosives. So I think that might be a good thing to go and investigate. I hope I'm not still making explosives out of tree parts, because I know there's a better recipe. I just don't know where it's being done. Or even what goes into it. Maybe if I check what goes into it, that'll help me work out where it's happening. Explosives is made out of ignium powder and low-density olumite. That's probably happening over here somewhere. Is it you? Are you making explosives? Yes, you are. And then they're just disappearing underground. Right. Okay. Well, this is silly. This is not good. This will not do. But if there's clearly insufficient explosives from one machine here, and also this is a really dumb place to put it. Well, at the time it was probably a fairly sensible place to put it. Now it's a dumb place to put it. So it's only low-density olumite and coal. And I think I have a coal supply coming out. Yes, coal supply coming out over here. And actually a crushed coal supply as well for malumic acid, I think. Now, I don't want to interrupt this too much, because I suspect I'm going to want to expand this at some point. But the fact that there's coal coming out here makes me think maybe I can put it... I'm going to need to powder it. That's okay. I've got a convenient space here. Yeah, let's put it in here between next to this. So I'll put it in. Oh yeah, Factorio is absolutely the best factory game. No argument there from me. Absolutely none at all. However, I would say Foundry I would say is the second best, at least in my current opinion. This may change if I play another one, but Foundry is my second. At least is my second favourite, which is slightly different from saying it is the second best, because other people are allowed to have opinions as well, probably. All right, time to do some maths. So you're a Crunchomatron Mark II, aren't you? Yes, you're a Crunchomatron Mark II. So you want you to make coal pancakes, and I didn't like Satisfactory. It was okay. I enjoyed playing Satisfactory, but there were enough things in it that were bad that I didn't like it as much as I didn't enjoy it as much as this one, basically. Right, so that makes 5 every 2.5 seconds. So it makes 2 per second. And I'm turning it into explosives, which takes in 4 every 5 seconds. These are not helpful numbers. So that's just over 1 per second. So 1 of these and 2 of these is probably going to be close enough. I think 1 of these and 2 of these. Although maybe I'll double that. So I'll make 2. No, actually, I'll just do that. So one crusher and then 2 fluid assemblers. So I need a fluid assembler. That is you. Boink. That's huge. It's not huge. It's actually quite small as machines in this game go. But it was bigger than I was expecting it to be when I got it out. Nobody clip that, please. I'm stuck on something. Right. Configure that. So what are we making? We're making explosives. And we're making explosives here too. Where are my fluid inputs on these machines? On the back. Okay, that's good. That's probably where I would have chosen them to be if I'd actually thought about it in advance. So put that there, and then actually I could use a medium inserter here, and then short inserters here and here. And that would save me from having to use to put wiggles in the belt, because in this game, unlike a certain other game we're all very fond of, all lengths of inserter are run at the same speed, which is quite nice. Okay, so you want low dentistry olumite, which is the pink one. I don't see any pink pipes. Okay, I do over here, but I don't see any pink pipes over there, which means I'm going to need to run another one over there. That's okay. I was more or less expecting to have to do that. There's some pink over there. Where's that coming up from? Where are you being made? I have no idea. Okay. So over here, I guess there's a lot of pipes in the way. So unfortunately, this pink pipe and that brown pipe are at the same height, and that's somewhat annoying because it means I'm going to have to do some shenaniganery to get past it. I mean, that's okay. We're used to shenaniganery, but still. Okay, we'll come across here on the other side of this block here at the same level as this dark blue pipe. So that means I need to work out where I am. I'm here. So it's 2 out from all of these things. So there, I want to take that out and replace it with a T-piece pointing downwards. There we go. And then a corner immediately underneath that, pointing upwards. Like that. Then I can run this pipe, doop, like that, to infinity and beyond, or at least to production, to explosive production and beyond. So it goes to here, then along here. We'll need T-pieces on these, like that and that, nice and easy. And we'll join them together from here, zoop, across there, and we'll come out to about here is far enough, and then we can start finally smart drag mode. See if we can make it work. So I want to go to there, which is a fixed point there, and fixed point there. Right, there we go. Lovely. Yes. Foundry, as I say, definitely one of my favourites. I think probably second favourite. And only behind. And as I get it closer to finished, then, well, I don't think, if I'm being honest, I don't think it's ever going to be my absolute favourite because Factorio. But as it is already an excellent game. So yeah, very much enjoying it. It's not as deep as Factorio, and I think you're not going to be able to make as big a factory before you run into important UPS type problems. But it's still very good. All right, so the explosives happen over here. This is minus 70. So if I bring it over at minus 69, then hopefully I can just merge into the other. Oh, how low does it go? I have no idea. It's a tiny hole in the ground. Okay, well, let's come over at minus 69 and see what we can do. Or 71, actually. 71 would be okay too. So that's here. So we want to go into the ground here. Let's turn that into a 1x1. Pew. There we go. There's a mark of where I want to go in. So, right, let's just ramp down. So going from that height. So we're going to need 4 squares. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There is happily there is room. I'd be I'd have been mildly irked if there wasn't, and I'd have had to do something completely different probably. All right, and then we can bring you from there to there. Why have we not got any yet? Have I not told this to be an output? I have not told this one to be an output inserter, or an exerter, if you will. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Explosives are happening. Excellent. Right, so now it's time to actually dig a hole again. And I've been doing quite well at not digging holes manually recently, but it looks like we're doing it again. But never mind. And there's another ramp goes in there. Is this going to be deep enough? Probably. Let's go down one more just because. Dig a tunnel through here like this. If I can get to if I can find the belt at the. Oh, hello. There's another major transport undergroundy thing coming through here. So I'm really glad I didn't go any lower, because otherwise I'd run into that more in a way that actually mattered, rather than just running a belt through the ceiling of it, which isn't a problem. So, but if I keep going this way, I should see before too long. I should come across the down belt from the other bit of explosive production. That's my hope. I didn't take note of what the other. Oh. Okay, well we found a concrete belt. It's not quite what I was looking for. And I don't know if I'm going to be at the right height for it, but I've got to run into it surely, because that's how. I feel like I've gone too far now. Where am I? Yeah, I've absolutely gone too far. For goodness sake. How did I miss it? Did I just get the number wrong? Yes, the game is indeed early access, so it is going to continue getting better and better. You're absolutely right about that. I doubt if I doubt if it'll ever actually get better than Factorio because of sort of the technical difficulties of 3D-ness. Yeah, there it is. It goes down there, and we are at minus 54, minus 70. Could I have gone down too low? Minus 54, minus 70. I'm stuck. There we go. Freedom! Let's try again. Let's try not falling in the holes. Minus 54, 54. So it's here. Oh, there it is. That must be it up there. Turning and then going off to the side. Right, so I need to turn here, and then we can bring it over and join it on here. There we go. There's my explosives. That's what we've been trying to find. Okay, so boink, boink that. And then stick in a splitter. No, in the obvious way around. Come on, game. Right, and I have to be very, very careful as I do this, because if I get a bit wrong, then I will accidentally boot myself out of the hole into the, and I'll be clipped into sort of the open air above, and that'll be slightly awkward because I'm trying to build down here. So we want to go this way, all the way to, yeah, we'll go to here. That's fine. Then can we go down to meet that? No, but one too many. I'll remove that then. Try that again. This time I'm going to probably rely on being booted out and just put into the... There we go, like that. And as long as this just keeps disappearing into the hole, then that implies I've got the belts all linked up properly all the way through there. And this looks pretty good. Yeah, this game will... it's missing trains at the moment, but they promised that's going to be in the next major update, and there's going to be a beta of the trains coming out at some point. And that's going to make such a big difference. Because at the moment, I've got to the point where a lot of my resource patches are now quite a long way away. So I've got coal coming from all the way up here, for example. And I'm having to use... So I'm using the aircraft for that. It's being picked up by an aircraft from there, dropped off over here, which doesn't quite feel like the right way to do these sort of things. And then I've got copper's coming from over here, and then I've got some mark belts, you can tell because they're green, going from here to over here to then be smelted, and then long belts to bring them over to here. So it'd be quite nice to be able to, I guess if I did expand out to have a train system, I'd have to rebuild quite a bit of my stuff, and then just pipe it in out of stations. But yeah, it would make it a lot easier to bring in, even if it's just bringing in the iron ore to drop off somewhere around here to then belt into this area where all my foundries are, where all my smelting is underground, or bring copper in to drop off here, or whatever. Because then I've also got another copper mine down here, and this one's being made directly into green circuits over here in this area. And I've got one aircraft bringing in the plastic to make the green circuits, and then another aircraft taking the green circuits away and bringing them up to here to drop. Yeah, I think it's here. I think it's that one. To drop them off and pass them out into the main system. So, yeah, there's a lot of things that, in an ideal world, would not be quite so close together around here. But that's on me for building on too small a scale from the start, because I didn't know what the game was going to be like, and that always happens in every one of these games. So, no shade there. But as my factory has started to get bigger and bigger, I've had to start belting the resources in from the patches, like this one. And this is honestly not too bad. If I wanted to get this iron patch, or even this iron patch, we're looking at some ridiculously long belts to bring it over to the processing areas down here. And yeah, so that's where trains will come in useful. And I feel, I haven't really stress tested them, but I feel like the aircraft aren't really fast enough to bring in major sort of main raw materials like iron ore. Now, I suppose I could potentially put in multiple aircraft, so you could have sort of 5 or 6 or 7 takeoff pads and landing pads, because I think they're 1-to-1, although I'm not certain. But even if they're not 1-to-1, even the unloading rate of them doesn't seem to be that fast. So I think you'd have to have multiple of them in there, and that just feels a bit. I'd rather have trains. And who doesn't want to build a massive underground rail network, eh? I know, I certainly do. Okay, so we've emptied out all the explosives were stockpiled in those machines. That's good. Well, I say that's good. That means we've had a big burst of them that are going to be coming up from the belts over here. Over here. There they all are coming out there. So the question is going to be, is this upgrade going to be fast? And in fact, oh no, I was going to say the question is going to be, is this upgrade going to be enough to satisfy this system and then keep it satisfied in the medium term? And we shall find out. Yeah, I don't like the idea of using these things to send stuff up to the space station platform and bring it back down again. That just feels wrong. I've not done it yet, and I intend not to, because yeah, it feels wrong somehow. I'd rather run incredibly long belts, to be honest. Especially now that I've got the boring machine. With the boring machine, it's really easy to make tunnels like, let me see if I can find one, like this one. And then just run a belt, pow, straight all the way down it like this. So yeah, now we've got the boring machine, these long distance sort of underground tunnels, they're okay, I'm happy with them. That just works. Oh, and this is where the explosives go through, isn't it? No, this would be where the explosives would have gone. No, it's just a hole in the ceiling. I don't know what that hole in the ceiling. Oh, there's the explosives. I don't know why there's a hole in the ceiling here. Let's fill it in. Yeah, I have no idea why we have this hole. No, we don't. There we go. Where can I get it here? I can get that here. Okay, so I have now unlocked those blast furnaces that I've been talking about all stream. So I think it's time to take a look at those and find out what that can do. I think this feels quite exciting. Although my pudding has run out, so that's slightly less exciting. So was that in modular buildings? No, that was in blast furnace, maybe. Buildings and machines. Blast furnaces, here we go. Right, blast furnaces provide a complex but highly efficient method to produce metallurgic goods. To run a blast furnace, you need 3 different types of modular buildings. You need an air intake, a hot air stove, and the blast furnace itself. The outputs of a blast furnace are liquid, molten metal and molten slag, need to be moved by pipes, casting and recycling machines. Okay. General concept is to use a combination of extremely hot and pressurised air, fuel and mineral rock, which binds impurities. Okay, so we're going to need mineral rock in there as well. Fine. To melt impure ingots or impure ore or ingots into its purest liquid form. Byproduct slag is created. Slag is a waste product used in concrete production or be recycled. Okay, so you need an air intake which draws in air. Fine. That's massive. How much air are we drawing in with this thing? Okay. Second building is the hot air stove. Heating tower heats up the air from the air intake. Can run on power or fuel items. Depends on the power module you choose when building it. Okay, fine. Finally, the blast furnace, which consumes the hot air and the fuel. So we know we need to make coked ignium as well. Okay, that is indeed massive. You weren't kidding. Whoever it was who said that was massive. Hello, Mark. Welcome. Works. Built pipelines using instead of pipes to move the larger amounts of air required. It works same as pipes, bigger. Fine. Unique mechanics. Blast furnaces are more complex than regular machines in their basic behaviour. They need to be heated up. Okay. Indicator of how full they are. Okay, they're more efficient when they're running constantly. Fine. Steady supply of hot air. Can't dismantle it while it's running. Fine. Okay. This doesn't seem too bad. I mean, they're massive, so there's going to be quite a lot of effort required to build this whole thing up, I think, because there's so many things that go into it, and there's going to be a lot of extra things to manage with the process, but it doesn't seem to be unmanageably difficult. So let's have a look at where we're going to put these. The obvious place to continue expanding is up here into this desert area because it's much flatter than the mountain area over here. Yes, I can demolish the mountains, but it takes for blooming forever. So I think building out more into the desert is going to be the way to go. However, we are going to require rock. So some of that here. So we can get some mineral rock from here. Or we could go over here. We're going to need iron as well, probably, from, at least if we're assuming we're making iron. So maybe all the way over here is a good place for it. But we're also going to need coked ignium. So that's going to need some ignium from somewhere. That said, I have a healthy mine up here, or I have a mine up here, which is going to an airport. So I could fly the ignium over from wherever I decide I want to build it. The other consideration is, should I just find should I find an ore vein rather than a patch? Let's turn that off to see if it makes any. No, I want ore veins. I don't want geothermal. Right. No. There doesn't seem to be. Oh, there's an iron one. Actually, there's an iron one and a coal one fairly close together over here. So maybe they make quite a good team. There's no rock. There's no stone nearby though. Well, there's that one, but that's not very nearby. There's an ignium or vein there. That'd be quite a good one to set up with an airport, I guess, because it's not going to run out. The iron all the way over here, but then all of these they're so far away that I go, well, I don't want to have to transport the finished metal from there to over here because that's going to take forever. That coal patch is probably going to run out fairly soon because I've been using it for power. There's one down here. Oh, that's my new oil production area. Oh, what's this? There's some iron there, and iron veins as well, and some stone here. So this looks like a good place. Iron and stone, and then there's some coal just up here. That's not too bad. And then I guess it's just going to be really long belts. So let's have a look. So this is going to be my iron and potentially my copper supply. Let's have a look in metallurgy. Yeah, so here we go. The molten xenophorite, molten technum. So we can make the iron and the copper in massive quantities from these systems. So that's good news. Where's coked ignium? How do I make that? Why is my caps lock on? Coked ignium is just ignium ore made in a smelter. Okay, that's straightforward enough. Okay, this doesn't seem too bad. Let's go back to the metallurgy again. So we're making it some molten. We need to make molten xenophorite. Okay, where does molten xenophorite come in here? Because I want to check the. I don't think it does. Okay, that's a separate thing. Okay, fine. Right. So that's going to. So this seems like a good place to do it. We've got the iron here. We've got the stone here, which is one we will need both of those. I will need an enormous amount of power, or possibly something to use as fuel. There's no oil. There's an oil patch fairly nearby. Maybe I can make fuel from one of those two. That'd be another different thing. But I'd have to decide beforehand whether I was going to run it electrically or off these things. I could just build another massive bank of solar panels. In fact, I should finish that one off before I start doing anything else and check whether it's enough. But this does seem like a very promising area to start. So yeah, because we've got ore vein, we've got mineral rock, we've got some oil for fuel. We can put all of this together and hopefully make an enormous quantity of iron. And it's not that far away. I can run a mega tunnel from here to down here or something, or bring it in from the side or something like that. So that can be all of my iron supply, and that means that patches like this one can just be devoted entirely to steel, which means that they'll last longer, and I can make more steel from them. Right, so vein miners, normal miners. That's fine. There's loads of space out here. I'm deliberately doing it in a big, wide, open space so that I can ideally not run out of room while I'm building it. Let's get those solar panels finished off first, and then we'll go off and start making the making all of that. Bonk. Solar panels. Yoink. It's only 25. That's about half of what I need to finish off this block over here. My my solar power array is getting a little bit silly in size. Oh, we've got some more chunks here that I haven't drawn properly. Oh, there they go. They're all appearing now. Good. Okay, so it's just loading it slowly. That's kind of okay because I accept that I've got quite a large factory now. So if it's struggling to draw the thing or load the thing into memory as quickly as we'd like, then it's sort of understandable. Right, so we go from there to there, and we go, yes, that is one block up to wherever. So copy and place, boop, 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 and paste. Visit. Okay, that seems to have worked. Have I got any more solar panels left? If I try and do another 2, am I going to get any of these? No. Well, yes, actually, I got one of them. Okay. Well, that's better than none, I suppose. And let's check the cabling now. Get some cables out, and yep, here we go. So along. Yeah, the battery packs don't get connected together. These ones do, so that should go from there to there, and then there to the ones that are missing. But oh well, can't do anything about that at the moment. And then over here, yes, from there to there. And then that one would go to the ones over here. So I can't actually use these solar panels, which is a bit of a shame. Maybe I should actually pull those out and finish this block up first. Let's do that. I said, let's do that. So from there, it might be enough. How many have we got? No, I've got 3. So what? No, don't do that. Why are you not pulling that up? Okay, you are now. Right, back over to this, and I don't know how it chooses what order to place them in. Oh, actually, I could probably come over here and say, actually, I want to do one less paste, and we'll paste there. There we go. Right, so I still need another for the next row, but we're doing quite well for extra solar power now. I think it's probably going to be. You can reach that? No. Well, I'll check on a second, see how much power we've got coming in, and whether it's going to be enough. There we go. Oh, missed one. What is going on here? Right, so that goes to there. This does not. Okay, it's coming up here. All right. So that goes to there, and then right. So there we go. I think that's all of this connected together. Right. Let's have a look at the power stats now, because I've expanded this quite a bit. I know it was insufficient beforehand, but I'd like to see how it's doing now. So these batteries, it is now, what time is it? It is 11:45, so nearly noon, and the batteries are nearly half full. So that's sort of promising, except all of these steam turbines do kick in overnight in order to generate. In fact, some of the steam turbines are already kicked in because we're under 40%. So I've got 3 types of power generation. I've got solar panels, which we're always running because we want to generate power with solar panels whenever we possibly can because that's free. Then there's the ones in there that have just disappeared. They're the steam turbines that are running and they've gone into the disabled section. They were running because the batteries were less than 40% full, and those are the ones that are running from the geothermal power because that is cheaper because I think it uses up less coal than making steam the traditional way. And then there's another, I think it's 9 of them, that will only run when the batteries drop below about 10%, and they kick into and they just burn coal directly, and they're sort of the emergency backup. So yeah, we're not producing quite as much power as I would like. I think we're still going to need to expand. You know what? Let's go and turn off the big radio tower, because that is wasting quite a lot of, well, it's using a lot of power, and all that does is allow me to contact the space station from anywhere in the map. So I think it's a bit pointless. We should turn that off and save a bajillion watts. Shut down. There we go. I have to admit, I'm not certain. I think these 3 over here are not connected. But I think and hope and wish and would like all of the rest of them to be. I'm not seeing any unexpected green blobs. So I think they probably are all connected together. It's slightly hard to be sure. Oh, I suppose I could count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220, 240, 260, 280, 300. So no, that is the correct number. All 300. There are 300 of them down there so far, and they appear to all be working. 300 is apparently woefully inadequate, of course, but you know, it's yeah. Let's check that again. Actually, grid stats. So we are currently using 195 No, we're currently generating 195 megawatts. Of which actually more than half of that, now that I've turned off the radio tower, more than half of that is going into the batteries. So this might be okay. It does suggest that if I try to run my my blast furnace off the main solar grid, it's not going to go well for me. So I won't do that. Okay, so the next thing to look at is going to be large buildings. So we've made a long-range scanner, we've made a radio tower. I haven't made a modular storage tank because I haven't really needed one. But I guess that's a fluid storage thing. Air intake, haven't made one of those. Hot air stove, haven't made one of those. Blast furnace, haven't made one of those. Monument base, haven't made one of those. Should probably make a monument just for gits and shiggles. Where should I put my monument? Tell you what, you guys let me know where you think I should put the monument, and I'll set one building. There's a nice space there. There's a bit of space over here. There's some space down there as well, actually, in that area behind the spaceports. That's a bit more central. That'd be quite nice. So yeah, there are some options. Bonk. So these things, to make the bases: iron, steel, parts and circuits, concrete, steel, parts and circuit boards and. Okay, there's quite a lot going into these things. On top of the radio tower, it might fall off, and I wouldn't be. No, if it's up there, I wouldn't really see it. So, because I tend to be looking a bit more down than that, because I'm concentrating on what's going on in the factory. So, I'll give you some points for an amusing idea, but I don't think it's a great idea, I'm afraid. Right, so we're going to need to make a base unit for one of these things. So they've got steel advanced components, green circuits and iron. Steel, advanced parts, circuits. That would do apart from the concrete. And the concrete. Steel, advanced circuit. Okay, so this one will do. This is perfect. So we'll do this here. There isn't going to be anywhere better. Nowhere. There isn't actually anywhere with concrete on the bus, so we're not going to be making a lot of those. Oh, sorry, we're not going to be making the other two without a bit of piggery jokery. But oh, for goodness sake! Why am I getting double? Oh, I've dug up some belt. That's why. All right, let's put in a medium and a short, and then over here we needed to have a presumably it's a medium and a long. There we go. Right, nice solid deck of inserters along here. So are you out? No, you need the green. You need green circuits and iron. Oh, you didn't need that one. Green circuits and iron, which we have on the other side conveniently. Oh, but there's a ramp in the way. Actually, no, there's still room. No, there isn't. The ramps are more of a pain than I expect them to be. All right, then let's just remove this machine then, because it's with that ramp there, we're going to have endless problems of trying to do things with it and go somewhere else. Are all of you guys in use? Probably, yes. What are you doing? You're doing something anyway, so that's good enough. You're not, though. Right, so you can make. We'll use you to make these things because you've got all the resources you need. And I'm not gonna. It's not like I'm gonna need a lot of them. So everything? Yes. Right, okay, so we can make one of these. Then we can change the recipe and make something else. Needs a lot of something. Probably iron. Maybe my iron belt should be a yellow one. Hey Sophia, welcome. Yeah, I do accept the making the radio tower even taller by putting a giant statue on top of it would be sort of entertaining in a ridiculous way. But also, I still don't like the idea. Jeez, what does this require? It's just an air intake base. 200 iron. Right, okay. Tree violence. What are you doing? You're doing ramps. Okay. Now, while that's running, let's get some more solar panels, assuming I can. Yeah, I can. 20, that's enough for another stripe of them, so I can go out and place those at some point. This is taking so long. Oh, and we've run out of iron. I say run out of iron, I just mean it's all getting gobbled up by, I don't know, whatever this machine is. What are you doing? Oh, solar panels. Right, okay. That's because I just stole all the solar panels out of it, so it's suddenly trying to gather all the iron it could possibly need to make some more. Oh, it's 3 pieces short. That's ridiculous. That I can probably fix. Right. Here. Just get it done. Yeah. They do fade out eventually. The screens on the assembly machines. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm at the limit now because that one is working and that one is not. So they do get turned off eventually. Right, so we've got that now. That's the air intake. Also need a hot air stove base. Which probably means... Oh, we need... How many electronic components do I need for a hot air stove base? Only 25. All right, we can grab those off here by hand. I'm going to need to go and get some concrete as well, which is a thing, but c'est la vie. One feature I would like to see in this game is a little pop-up number when you grab things to tell you how many of that thing you've got in your inventory. There we go. And a quantity of concrete will be required. Concrete is made over here, I think, because it's part of one of the science packs. And then it's being passed underground to go off to, yeah, like that, to everything else that needs it. So if I drop down here and find the controls on this machine, I said if I find the controls on this machine, where's your control panel? There it is, right in the middle. That's really awkward. Come on, stop getting stuck on everything. Can I see you from here? No. I just want to nick all your concrete. Yeah. There we go. So, give me that. That. Right, so it's the machine down here somewhere, I think, was the one doing that. Right, chuck in the concrete. Make the hot air stove base. And that's going to be 2 of the things I need for this. And then I'm just going to have to hook it all up together, get it being built, and then deal with the outer part. That tower over there is something I built before I had the jetpack to allow me to get a slightly more bird's eye view of my factory, and it was always really, really awkward because I had to keep climbing up it and falling off it. I need 600 concrete. Okay. Let's go and get another 500 concrete, I guess. Yeah, it was something for me to climb up and stand on the top of to get a bird's eye view of the factory back before I could just fly. But it's really, really awkward because it's actually quite fiddly to go up here without falling off. Oh, like that. So it was always annoying. And then I got a jetpack and thought, this is so much better. Why have I not been doing this all along? 20. That's not so exciting. How many of you got? 200. 400. 600. It is enough. Yeah, I should probably demolish the whole thing, to be honest. And actually, I should get rid of all these catwalks as well, because again, they were meant to be a slightly easier way of getting around the factory when I just had to jump over everything, and I couldn't leap tall buildings with a single jetpack boost and so forth. So yeah, there's some. Yeah, there are some things that could be done slightly better, but I just haven't got the. Sorry, there are some things that I'm now doing better, but I haven't gone around and ripped up all of the infrastructure that I built back when I had to do them the worst way. Are you just waiting for steel at this point? 600 steel, 300 parts, 200 circuits. It's got 200 circuits. It's got 300 parts. It needs 300 more steel. Crikey. Steel, and as discussed at the beginning of the stream, steel is something I'm currently... I've got some of it, as you can tell, but there is a supply being made, but it's kind of insufficient. It is just these machines. No, actually, no, it's not just these machines. There is a major subterranean steel production area down about here somewhere. But that's only feeding out into the drone production down here, rather than coming up to the bus and the factory and all these sorts of things. So, yeah, we're a bit short of steel. We could do with a lot more steel around here, and that is something I would like to build. So I'm reckoning on building up a blast furnace to take all of the load off the iron production, and then turning all of the iron ore into steel. should keep these things around for posterity and prosperity. Maybe you're right. I think that's part of the reason I haven't removed them yet, and another part is laziness. There's a lot of bits of the factory that are have minor historical WASP names. Like this is my landing pod here. There's a discoloured patch on the ground here because this is where my first iron mine was, and I just filled it in with whatever soil I had to hand when it went away. There's another hole in the ground. Well, yeah, there's a hole in the ground over here, similarly, that was my first copper mine. So, yeah, there are bits around that are there for historical reasons. There's a hole in the ground over here. There's a running theme here, isn't there? There's a hole in the ground going down there to my first coal mine, and so on. A blast furnace will indirectly help with the steel production, because it'll take the load off the oil. No, it'll take the load off the iron production and allow me to turn all of the iron that's coming out of this patch into steel instead of turning 2/3 of it into iron and the rest into steel. So it's going to help a little bit, even if it's not going to be even if I'm not going to be able to produce steel in it, which is a bit of a shame. But it feels like an oversight, but oh well. How are you doing? How are you getting on? It is not you. How are you getting on? How are you doing? 300 steel. Okay. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take all these solar panels and I'm going to go and expand the solar array because I feel like that's a good idea. I could go out and scout the area where I'm going to build the smelter, no, the blast furnace, but I'll do that in a moment. So what have I got in my paste buffer? Oh, sweet! I'm still got this in the paste buffer. That makes things a little bit easier because I can just do that, and then probably realise that I've run out of cable. Oh no, I've got 2 cables left. That's going to be enough to finish this one off then, but not enough to build up another set. So I'm going to need to put in cable going from there to there, there to there, and I can't hook up this bank of batteries, but never mind. What time is it? It is 10 o'clock. Actually, it's not far off 10 o'clock in the real world as well. Let's go get some more cables. And, yeah, some more foundation as well while I'm at it. Cables are that one, the one that's offset from the rest for unknown reasons. There's probably good reasons for it at the time. I don't know what that would be. And then it's foundations, which are over here. Apologies for motion sickness. That was throwing the camera around a little bit there. Let's take another couple of thousand of those. See if there's any more solar panels. I might be able to start on a third row. I could start on a third row. The problem with flying too high is it makes you feel like you're travelling much less quickly. I do hope when they introduce trains that the trains are going to be much, much faster than any other method of getting around, because I think one of the other things this game is lacking is some speedy way of crossing large quantities of terrain. Right, so we'll need to open up the panelamatron here and get rid of the terrain. Like that, and any decor that's left as well. And then I can confirm the pasta. Hey, it was enough solar panels. Not enough batteries though, but I kind of don't care. I feel like I've got enough batteries. I will come along and put more batteries in at some point, but I feel like there's enough of them on the system that it's probably all right. And it's the solar that's the limiting factor. There we go. Boink. Boink. Right, how are we doing now? We're not producing anything, but we have 360 solar panels, which are producing no power. All the steam turbines are disabled. It's now approximately the middle of the night. We're using around 85 megawatts, and I don't really know. But somebody told me the ratios between batteries and solar panels when I first started going, and I think I followed that ratio. So maybe it's going to be okay. I honestly don't know. But we need dawn basically to start to get all the solar panels running and to charge up all the massive banks of batteries. I'm also going to need to plug in some additional batteries. So let's call for some drone demolitions like this, and whoop, this, and then I can whack in one of these about here and plug the batteries in. Plug those batteries in and then plug in more batteries and more batteries when I bring those out. But that can happen later. Right. Yeah. So let's go and see if we've got enough steel yet. I suspect it's still going to be struggling. If it is still struggling, then I guess I'll go off and do a bit of a recce and try and put down some of the some starting patches for some foundation patches to fit all the bits and pieces in that I'm going to need. I'll take the other 2,000 from there because we're ripping through this stuff. Then nope, I'm on the wrong side. How you doing? 520. Still need another 80. Jeez. So they've got got a nice big desert area over here. Whereas as I was saying, we've got an ore vein over there. We've got rock here, and then just big area. I suspect this is going to be jungle of some sort. It's going to be a bit awkward to build in. So I'll probably put my exciting new machinery in down here. I'm going to need to fly coal in from somewhere. I'll probably tap another coal patch up here to get that. I could continue the tunnel from here over this way, and I don't know, maybe put in another landing pad right next to this one just for amusement. Okay, so let's try and find the vein miners, because I'm going to need a quantity of those. If you were a vein miner, where would you be? How do you even make a vein miner? That'll give me a clue as to where it is. So, very, very basic stuff. That's interesting. Belt. Crusher probably. Smelter maybe. Vein miners, here we go. Yoink. I will need freight elevators. Have I got freight elevators? I've got 12 of them. That seems like a good number. I will need drone miners. I should find the drone miner production. What the hell is that? How did that get there? And chuck these old drone miners in there and get some better ones out. Manage inventory. I would like to give you these. I can't because you're already full. Great. Well, in that case, let's go over here and go yep, doink and yoink. Doink apparently being the opposite of yoink in my brain. I don't know whether it's actually worth using the drone miner 2s. They have a longer range, but as far as I'm aware, they're not actually faster. So yeah, I don't know. Transport ship ports. That's the other thing I need. So I need no, not transport ships. No, not freight elevators either. No, not you. It's the other things. The other flying guys. If you were the other flying guys, where would you hide? Maybe. I don't know. Yoink and yeet. Yeah, you make a good argument. It certainly feels reasonably. It certainly feels fairly logical. Ah, here we go. Cargo pick up and drop off. It certainly does feel reasonably logical. I'll give you that. Right. That's the wrong button. Take and take. Take and take. Always take. Never give. Have you got... Right. Let's check that machine again for its iron. And if not, I'm going to... Whether it's got enough steel. And if it hasn't, I'm going to get bored and clear off. It has! Hurrah! Take that. I'll let it make another one. It's going to take forever, but I don't care. Right. Travelling time. Isn't the moon pretty tonight? I say moon. I think that might be just... I think we might be on the moon. And that's the parent planet. In a sort of a Yavin 4 kind of way. Or Forest Moon of Endor. Yes, I am a nerd. Could you tell? So, somewhere over here, there is going to be some sort of jungle system. Oh, I'm going to need power for all this stuff as well, so I'm going to need to put down solar panels, which I probably haven't brought. I certainly haven't brought batteries. Yeah, there we go. That's the sort of jungle I was afraid of. Are these... What are these? Oh, is this the Olumite? So there is a xenophrite patch directly underneath me. Don't know what these are. Are they? Oh, are they weak points in the ground? The lava cave shafts. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. This is indeed a rather thick jungle. Let's drop down into it and see what it's like from ground level. Wow. I think this is the first jungle terrain I've actually properly been in. There's a little bit over by the solar panels and the oil, but I haven't really got involved with it. This is quite cool, actually. I like it. And I seem to be a lot less likely to get eaten than in Satisfactory. So that's nice, too. Right, let's ping. That is a massive ore vein. There's quite a lot at 89, so I think we'll dig down to 89, and then we'll do some tunnels from there. So, right, time for the boring machine. Let's clear out enough space to put down the boring machine, and coincidentally, run out of space in my inventory. That's not what I was going to say I wanted to do. And coincidentally, generate some fuel for putting in the boring machine as well. No regular. We're not doing an open pit mine on a vein. They're too big. You can't dig out an entire vein. It is just too big, and I'd run out of sanity. And that doesn't take long. That's a lot of biomass from pulling down those massive trees. Right, so let's get out the boring machine. Boring machine. There it is. Boink. Right, and we're going to go down. We're going to put in some fuel. Here, have some biomass. And we're going to go down. How far down do we want to go? So we're at 135. It was at 90. So I want to go down 45, and that'll be in the right sort of area. Confirm. Go. Chomp, 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 chomp. I do like the boring machine. It's very effective. So it's going to take me down round about here. We can then start digging around underground to get over to the actual ore veins. And then we'll run another tunnel over to about here, where it can emerge, and then we can start putting in the blast furnaces and things. Oh, and I'll run another tunnel over to here to pull up that mineral rock, which is at height 121. Okay, that's a bit higher up, but Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Oop, we've fallen out. Right, so, ping. Ping. I mean, they're kind of everywhere, but I also kind of can't tell. Let's go forwards as far as we... Let's go forwards until we hit the vein. That didn't take long. And let's turn right. And then go forwards for a little while. So that patch is at 421. Okay. It's going to be round the back of it, isn't it? I can just tell. I've come down in completely the wrong place, and none of these, and this is all going to be very, very difficult. But never mind. We're digging nice big tunnels. So it's going to be relatively easy to just get at things, get around down here once we've opened up. Oh, we found the edge. Sorry, we found a bit more of the... I was hoping to have gone to sort of be squeezing around the edge of the vein, but it was not to be. Oh, stop! Stop! Oh, there's one. Right, so we've nearly found one. I'm just going to drill straight past this one. Actually, no, I'm going to leave the boring machine going straight past this one, and then I'm going to open up the wall here, and so this way we can dig in two places at once, which is rather nice. And I can go in and find the patch and start setting things up on it. This is where it'd be rather nice to be doing this multiplayer, because I could have somebody else dealing with getting the power set up for this system and so on and so on. While I could dig the tunnel. Somebody else could do the setting up power. Somebody else could be, I don't know, running belts or going off and getting the coal as well. That'd be an important thing to do. Right. So, can I drop my vein miners in here? I can't remember how much space you need behind the wall, behind the rock face for them. There's a vein miner. More than that. Okay, quite a lot more. Time to do some more digging then. Is this the right height? Yeah, it's good as. 1 square high will probably be fine. Yeah, one more this way. Boom. And why not? Let's just open it up completely. Right, there we go. So now I should hopefully be able to fit my vein miners in now. So put one of those. Which is the business end? That's the business end. Can I get one in? There. Right, okay, that gives me an idea of the size, which is yes. The size is, I think the size is best described as very. So let's carry on digging a bit more space out here because we're going to need a bit more. Okay, there we go. And I could let's remove this piece of ceiling and then rebuild the floor down here because then it looks nice. And now I can fit my second one in here. There we go. And then back to the boring machine. Okay, scan for me. I still need to go another 10, I reckon. Just go. Go, turn. How it turned in a square shaft, I'm not quite sure, but you know, that's not the reason why. What's the betting? That's going to be right round on the other side. Oh no, there is one on the edge there. Ooh, there's the ore patch that I mentioned earlier that was in the same sort of general area. So nice, eventually. There it is. So it's nice to know it's there, I suppose. I think this may end up just wanting to be an entire square around the outside of the ore vein. Yeah, you go again. And then I'll... Oh, this is only a singleton, but never mind. Pop. 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 5. There we go, there's another one. So we can stick in another vein mine here. I'm not sure. Actually, this might be a bit too close. I'm maybe going to wish I'd run that past a little bit further away. Oh, wait, okay. Yeah, because it's kind of filling the corridor here as well. But oh well, never mind. And I'm only going to need I'm only going to need to have a belt coming out of here, and then possibly a belt coming past, if so it can go underneath or something like that. There are ways and means and so on. We can deal with that. Right. So over here, are there any more patches at this level that I haven't tapped yet? So we've got that one. We've got that one. Yeah, there's another one over there. Excellent. So let's go and get that one as well. Have we got? Yeah, I think I can fit the drill past the boring machine past at this height. At this, I don't mean height. I mean distance across. Level of southerliness. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's a double as well. So that's going to be very, very valuable, very worth having. And then when it's inevitably not enough, then I can go down to 58 and get that one, and whichever other ones there were. Oh, which is a way to get this to stay up for a bit longer. Yeah, because there's one there at 58, 58. And at some point I'm going to invent fracking as well. So then I'll be able to dig much, much deeper. Sorry, no, not dig much deeper. I'll be able to pull out a lot more ore out of these patches. And they won't run out. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, now I can see what I'm doing. This is, yeah, that's right. Yeah, because as it is, these veins will eventually run out. But I gather from reading the box text that eventually I shall invent, or when I do research fracking, then I'll be able to pump some sort of fluid down here, and the seams will carry on going forever. Well, that'd be quite nice. So it's going to be very worth building my iron smelting system over here, because it's, in theory, never going to run out of input. Now, that's not quite true, because it will eventually run out of the other one. It'll eventually run out of mineral rock and potentially coal, but those maybe we can bring in from elsewhere. Is there going to be room for this? No. Okay, so I positioned my drill a little bit too accurately on that one, and didn't leave enough room for to build the actual mining machine here. Yeah, that's pretty much how I understood it, Bob. I have to admit, I wasn't sure whether you'd still had to go in at the actual vein points, or whether you could just dig from anywhere. But I understood it essentially to mean that you'd be able to get an infinite amount of ore out of them, which is going to be very useful. I'll take that one out as well, because then I can run a belt round the back of it if I need to. Right, and then we get more of these guys, and we stick them in my face, apparently. 1, 2. Right. Lovely. And I think if I hop back in here and rotate it, I think I haven't always been doing 45s, actually. Yeah, I'm not quite lined up with that hole. That's a shame. I do want to have a big square tunnel, but the only way I'm going to get that is by flying back round to the starting point and putting the boring machine down again, because I did enough. I'm not going to have a big square because of that as well. Oh well, c'est la vie. Also, I got a bit too close to the patch there. Right, but still, it's going to be almost be a nice, neat, big square round thing. So get you back out again. Point you that way. Give it some fuel. Go. Okay, so I need to go to about here. Okay, well, I shall learn about fracking at some point in the future, so not too many spoilers, please. And but as I say, I did know that it was a thing, and the game had told me about it, so I'm not upset about what you said so far. Right, okay, so here we go. This is the corner point. Stop there. So from here, I think I do actually want to just carry on going that way to about here. Pop up round about here. Have all the freight elevators in this area, and then put the actual massive machinery above ground over here, and then I can start thinking about salt power as well. So let's do distance 200. So we'll look at the map. So that is about 100. Yeah, so these are about 50 each probably. So I want to go 100, 200, about 250. So we'll go 200 and see how that feels. I do of course now have a convenient entry point for the mine here, which I'm probably never going to use again because I'm going to build another entry point over here. But never mind. Of course, while that's running, how fast? Not these, not that. How fast do these run? Is it work? I could start running belts from here. Do these run at yellow? Let's check. It'll probably say in the box text. So you run at a speed of, it doesn't say. Helpful. Okay, maybe when I get the power to it, it'll tell me then. I guess we'll find out. How are you getting on? 133. Okay. He's making decent progress. Oh, I'm also going to need to bore off up this way and go and get that patch too. So maybe as soon as I get to maybe when I get to the surface, I'll just drop it back down again and then send it off drilling off that way all by itself to go 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, just to make an arbitrarily long tunnel that goes up to these sort of patches. But then these are much higher up, so it'd feel a little bit silly to drop the rock all the way down to 90 and then have it come back at 120 and from 120 to come bring it down the big tunnel. But then that said, there is going to be a big tunnel, so why not just whack everything down the big tunnel, even if it does mean it has to go down first and then go up again later. I think I'll probably do that, because as I say, there will be a nice big tunnel. I'd say we are nearly there. Then another 50 is going to be excessive. I think that's probably about right, so we'll stop that there, and we would like to go up. And we shall see the incredible power of the flying drilling machine, because I just told it to go 200 and we're only like 50 underground. But that's okay. It's easier to set a big number and then tell it to stop than to set a small number and repeatedly have to start it up again. There's a lot of earth falling through the ceiling, and it's not just because there's a hole over there, because a lot of it was falling actively through the ceiling. Right. There we go. That's pretty good aim, if I do say so myself. So we're going to have all the ores and things are going to be coming up here. So that's the ore and the stone. So let's have another look at the text of how to use a blast furnace. So we're going to need an air intake, fine, but that can go anywhere because it's just going to be pulling air in. That's relatively easy. The stove also can go kind of anywhere we want, although it is going to need to be fueled, so we'll need to hook that up to it. Fine. And then the blasted furnace, that's the one going to be taking in the metal and the mineral rock. So that can just go, that wants to go sort of more or less next to the next to the hole, because we're going to be pumping everything straight into it, I imagine. So, yeah, so the blast furnace is going to be actually going to be the first one I put in because it has a sensible place. It has a specific place to be. So, you were a blast... Oh, there it is, blast furnace base. 26 by 26. Okay, it is sizable, but that's okay. We're kind of expecting that. I guess let's call this ground level. So I want to go... How far is this? This is... And I'll leave a little bit of space for sanity. Why are you not telling me how big this is? Oh, it is up there. 19. 18. Slightly more than is actually required. There's a lot more space off this way. 16. So 17 now. No, yeah, 17. So I need another 9 out this way. I'm just going to build the whole thing and then work out what's not worked afterwards, because I reckon it's easier to just build a big chunk like this and then go, okay, there are some problem parts like this plant, and these holes, the holes you end up with in your foundation, make it really, really obvious where the problem areas are, so you can then go around and it tells you. So it basically tells you which of the bits that you need to zap in order to build there. Whereas sometimes, I mean, do I need to zap that? I'm not sure. I clearly need to zap that, and I need to zap that, and then I need to, sure, zap that. Why not? Then I can do this across the whole thing again, like that, and that, and there's still a bit over here that I missed because I was apparently distracted or just unobservant. Either is possible. Right, there we go. So now I can get out my blast furnace base, which is this guy, and go, yes, it's got panels on all 4 sides because it's so big that they don't want you to be able to find them easily. Right, so I'll put you in there. That is quite basic. Ooh, it has numbers and things on it. Right, let's boop it with the clipboard. No, that's the wrong clipboard. Let's get the correct clipboard out and boop it with that. Where's my clipboard? Where is my clipboard? Oh, there it is. Boop. Right, so we get a thing goes here. So we put a hot air blast on there apparently. Okay, didn't have a lot of choice about that. What goes on here? Pipeline attachment input. Okay, fine. Pipeline attachment input. Pipeline attachment output. Tower. Okay, well, we need a tower. Ah, so presumably I can put on multiple towers. Let's put on another tower just cause. Then hopper, and then flare stack. Okay, that's all. That's that then. And then over here, conveyor attachment. Wow, these have to go in very, very high up. Maybe I should have put this in a massive hole. But no, then that would have been difficult to get the goop out of down there. So okay, we'll put in a conveyor attachment input there. Wow. Is that looks like 4 conveyor belts to me, so that might well be enough. I hope I've got that on the correct side. I am not 100% sure. Let's remove that for a second. I don't know which side is which. I think that's the conveyor input side. And I think, therefore, that's going to be a... And what goes in? Oh, hot air goes in. So we'll put hot air in over here. What? Why does this side only have outputs? Okay, well, we'll have an output over here. And an input over here. And I guess we'll... Okay, I need multiple outputs. Oh, of course, because of the slag. I forgot about the slag. So have the slag come out over here. Are you an output? Yes, you are. Right. I think that's everything. So, right, I need to have at least 1 tower and up to 5. Is there anything else I could have put more in? Could have put more conveyor attachments in. I can't see my body. Oh, of course, because I'm on... Yeah, I'm standing on... I'm down here somewhere in the... on one of the... I can't see my body because I'm so small and hidden underneath the massiveness of the machine. So let's hit start construction and see where it's put everything. Okay, it hasn't. It really... Oh! This doesn't feel right. Where's my hole? There's the pit. So this is the input side. Right, so we've got... Oh. Okay, well, we'll start again then. So this is the input side. Right, hot air blast. Tower. I put in 2 towers just because I could. Hopper. Flare stack. Right, and I'm on this side. So this is where we want the input. Conveyor attachment input. There we go. And I wanted the... Then I wanted my outputs on this side and this side. And then I wanted the... No, it was conveyor input. Oh, and then I wanted the pipe input. Okay, well, I guess we won't have that then. Remove that. Have the input of the hot air there, and the output of the something else there. So one of these is going to be the slag, one's going to be the hot metal. I don't know if I can select those. I think my body was visible. It was just hidden underneath all of the mechanisms and stuff. So it was just tucked. I was so close into it that I couldn't be seen. So it's not a bug as such, but it would be better if it highlighted you. Right, start construction. Close window. Right, there we go. This time I could see my I could see the inputs up there. Let's try not to fall in the hole. So that's good. I mean, the freight elevator is going to probably want to. The freight elevators that I'm going to put in here are going to want to drop off way up there, so they can just dump straight into the machine. But that's fine. That's okay. I can deal with that. One thing I can't deal with is this thing floating in the air like this. So let's go from here to here. Here to wherever. A little bit across there and across there. And I've got so much earth, I might as well just do that, to be honest. There we go. Right, it's supported now. Hurrah. So we are a long way from home, so it's going to take a very long time for the aircraft to actually come over here and start building. I really hope they don't have a maximum range. Over there, in fact, just look, there's all my highlighted points. I hope they don't have a maximum range, or this is going to be incredibly frustrating. In the meantime, do I have any solar panels? Yes, I have 4 of them. It's not very many. That's my air input, so I guess that means I should put in my other machinery over this way. So let's do let's open the ground up a little bit, like this. Just take out all of this nonsense to about... Okay, it's not actually that much, which is kind of why I built here. So go out to here and then up to here. Take out all of that. That'll give me a bit more playroom, and then I can expand out with my foundation as well in the same sort of way, like this, and then a little bit of lasing may be required, like this, to open the place up. But hopefully this will allow me to then start thinking about my air intake and my my gas oven, my air oven, and start thinking about where to put those as well. Okay, that'll help a bit. Oh, there's a bit of patch over here. Has that been... No, it's just somewhere where I hadn't built yet. Right, so the next thing is going to be the hot air oven, which is going to need to hook up to that. Ah, stuff is arriving. Excellent. My construction ship must have arrived. Or my cargo ship. Yeah, there's the cargo ship dropping the building materials off. Okay, so the next thing is the hot air oven, which I can't remember the name of, but hopefully I'm going to be able to spot. So there's that, which is a hot air stove. Yes, that is the one. That's 11 by 17, so I could put you in. I mean, I don't know where your inputs and outputs are, mate, so that doesn't really help. But I guess I'll put it there for now, and we'll see how we get on. Worst case, I can just run pipes, but it's a little unhelpful. Oh, that is just... Oh, it's built the base of it. Right, fine. So, but I now need to boop it with the boopometron. Where's my boopometron? There it is. Bip, and I'm standing on the north side of it. So I want the hot air to come out this side. Okay, we'll attach a tower on there then, if you insist. And right, so I can have an HVG module, or I can have a burner module. Let's put the burner module on, because I do intend to power this with a fuel source of some sort. It's kind of on the wrong... Oh, is that going to take in... That was conveyor belt taken. Okay, so I'm going to have to work out what to apply there. But that does have the output on the correct side, which is handy. I don't think I actually need multiple towers here. Let's put the top part on. There we go. And then over here, what's the other option? Pipe attachment input. Ah, right, that'll be for the air to go into. Excellent. And I won't put on the... Presume if I put on that... Yeah, okay, I thought that'd be the case. We're going to power this from fuel because I don't think I'm going to have enough power over here. Maybe in the future we'll switch that over. But that seems to be correct. So we can start construction on that. And in the meantime, the other construction ships have come over to start digging the holes here. Excellent. This is all coming together quite nicely. So now I want the air intake, which is up here, and is another relatively large thing. So we'll put you there, so there's plenty of room to run the pipelines around, and then we'll get out the boopometron. Boop. Hang on. Right, okay, I'm to the south of it. I'm not actually, I'm to the north of it, but my brain seems to have established that this is south, which is wrong, but never mind. So put a tower on there. What are you doing? Okay, I want a vent on that side, I suspect. Let me just check. Oh no, I'm over there. Fine. In that case, we want the vent over here. I have a utility panel here just because we can. No. That's not a utility panel. That's an output. Actually, I want it to be higher up than this. Let's put the utility panel there. And then we can put vents on it here. Vent. Vent. Sure, we'll put some more vents on it, because why not? There we go. And start construction of that as well. Okie dokie. That is a lot of stuff. Yeah, okay, that is the right way around. So it's going to take some time to build all of this stuff, which I'm okay with, because there's a lot of other work required in order to get the system up and running. We're going to need a lot of solar power to power the vein miners down there, and to power these machines, even if they're not actually generating all of the heat from power. I suspect we're still going to need some power for them. So we'll need a decent array of solar panels over here somewhere. So we've got the air coming in from this side. We've got the raw materials coming in over here. At least that's the plan. I think I've got one output on this side and one output on this side, so it should make it nice and easy to keep them separate and run things off and see where things go. Get everything sorted out. So, but yeah, that is a very, very large building. I did make it one module taller than the minimum, so you know it's kind of on me. But also, that is a very, very large building. Okay, so yes, solar power is going to be the first thing. Hello. Now, what have I got on my clipboard at the moment? Something quite small by the looks of it. Oh no, this is actually a block of solar. So I could put this in over here somewhere, like this. Jumpy, jumpy. Stop jumpy, jumpying. Stop being so jumpy. Okay, we'll put it there. And then, I guess, open this up because I'm going to need to demolish that, and then do a confirm paste. What am I missing? Batteries, power lines, solar panels. Okay, that's fine. Kind of inevitable. I only had a few solar panels. Right, so let's go and get that stuff. In fact, you know what? Let's join these together so we've just got the one I was going to say let's join these together so we've just got the one power system. That's irrelevant because it's because this is all high voltage stuff anyway. But even so, I think it's sort of nice to connect them together, and that means because there's going to be some inserters up there on top of there. Now there's not going to be any power being pulled. These are all high voltage, so we're not going to have any low voltage power in this. But I don't know. It just felt like a good idea. Right, now I'm going to head back over to the home base. So while I leave that building, so there's going to be a few things I need to do. I'm going to need a lot more power line because I'm going to need to run power out to all those vein miners. I'm going to need a lot of very fast belts. Although I think it might be a yellow belt per vein miner. I'm not certain. I'm going to need more solar, more batteries. I'm going to need the big pipelines. I haven't even started making those yet. And then I'm going to need to work out what else I need. There's going to be a lot of casting machines. That's definitely a thing. And some recyclers to get rid of the slag as well. Okay, so start at the very beginning. Very good place to start. Let's get the batteries and the solar. Hey, at least I've got enough of the doobies now. These things. Energy cells. Nope, not you. Yes, you. It's like twice the number I need, but that's okay. That'll allow me to do 2 expansions. That's about right. Oh no, I need the cables as well. Let's get cables. Cables are going to be a thing I'm going to say. I'm going to get through a lot of. So let's grab these quickly, and then hopefully I can grab some more sooner or later before I go. So back in here then. Confirm page. Zap, even though I'm blooming miles away. And now presumably that is that whole thing. I presume it's the whole thing put down. If not, I'll paste it in again when I get back over there. Right, so the pipelines now. That's going to be the next thing to think about. Because I haven't used these yet because I haven't needed to. Everything else has gone fine down the normal pipes, but hot air is apparently hot, so it is different. We've got a pipeline to pipe pump, so we can get stuff out of pipelines. Ah, there's the pipeline. 8 steel beams, so even more steel. Okay, good for certain limited values of good. I guess I can put in another machine, another assembler, like this, and tell it to make pipeline. Or alternatively, I could put some foundation down for it first. That'd help. Zoomp. Try again. Go there. And I'd like you to make pipeline. No, it's a thing. There we go. Pipeline, that one. And that's going to be another drawer on the steel. Yay! This is... the steel thing is apparently a bit of a problem. You know what? I'm going to cut off the steel supply to... Oh, I've already prioritised steel to be going in here. So, yeah, we are just getting all of the steel that's coming out of that facility over there. Maybe I should make that faster. I said, how much pipeline am I really going to need? Probably quite a lot. Those buildings are big, and therefore I've probably put them slightly further apart than I need to. The next question is, how big is pipeline? So let's take those pieces and investigate. So if I put down some pipeline, okay, it is 3 wide. Okay. I hope I've left enough room, but yeah, I think I've left enough room between the machines. Fairly sure. Presumably the any sort of corners I put in are going to work in the same mechanism as, yeah. Yeah, okay. I think I've left enough room. If not, I'm going to be very sad when I go over that, back over there. I should probably check that out fairly soon. I still need more cable. Boink. And I think I'd like some more wall pylons. Actually, how many other pylon types have I got? Normal, medium pylons. I've got 9 of those. That's probably enough, actually. Wall pylon. That guy. Take 100 of those. That'll do me nicely. So now, right, yeah. Now I think it's time to go back over, get some of the power plugged. Oh no, belts, 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 belts. Not you. Let's take the... How many yellows have I got? 400. Let's take a few more of those. And let's take some of these as well, because I don't know what speed I'm actually going to need. Yeah, so let's get that hooked up. I think it's a yellow belt for each each vein miner, but I'm not certain. I should also tag on the map where my iron blast furnace is, because then I'd know I'm going in the right direction. I think it might be a little bit more off to the left than this. But if I follow this river, that should take me over to the swamp area or the jungle area, and it's just to the left of that. There we go. There it is. And look at all the little drones flying around and getting things built up. Isn't that adorable? Okay, so have I left at least 3 squares between these things? No. I mean, I probably could spaghetti that in, but it's going to be awful to do so. That one's probably a big enough gap, but no, I think we're going to have to. I'm going to have to demolish these. That's annoying. I hope I haven't put any too much building material into them yet. You. Construction material, none. Okay, good. So we'll stop construction of that. And stop construction of that. I'm very glad that these had not kicked in yet. Right, so now we can pull that up. I hadn't realised, well, yeah, I sort of assumed the pipes are going to be a little bit bigger. Oh, for goodness sake. I assumed the pipes were going to be a little bit bigger, but I wasn't sure by how much, and it came as a bit of a surprise. Yes, of course I want to destroy these bloody things. Don't ask me every single thing I try and destroy. And let's get rid of some of this biomass as well. That's a bit much. I don't want to get rid of all of it, because I'm probably going to want to use the boring machine at some point. But there we go. Right, now pick that up. Eventually. Thank you. And pick that up. It's very slow. There we go. Okay, so next thing is, yes, is the air boiler, which is the hot air stove. That's the bunny. I think I had it this way round, and I think that turned out to be right. So we've got an extra bit sticking out there. So we've got a sticky outy bit, a sticky outy bit on the other thing, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I kind of wanted to put that there while I try and line things up. It's not lined up remotely. Okay, tell you what, we'll run the pipe. We can do that. We can fix that with pipes. So that's kind of okay. Right. So yeah, we want the. Okay, so we have we want to burn a module there. We want a tower there. We want an output there. We want a top part there. And then we don't want anything on this side. Oh no, we do want a pipe attachment input there, and we don't want an HVG module. Right, so we can do that. We can have that there. So that's now probably correct. I'm going to have to run a pipe from here across to here, which is going to be mildly annoying, but not impossible and not too difficult. Then I'm going to extend this a little bit further because we have run into a. It's not a problem as such, but it's a little crowded. There we go. So we've got an input up there. Now I can put in my air intake, but base, yes. I suppose I could put it like here. That makes a certain sense. And if I go back around to this side again, and I want to use the planner, right? So, okay, I'm over. It'd be nice. It'd also be nice if it opened it initially with your robot, basically where you are. So I know, yeah. So here, I want more tower on there. I want a utility panel there. I want vents all the way around here. Basically, I want to do exactly the same construction I did before, just in a slightly different place. All right. So we now have an output. What? Oh, I got that wrong. I wish you wouldn't reset it. That is also annoying. What I wanted to have was I wanted the output to be on this side. See, the output is to be on robot side. Where is robot? There is robot. Okay. So I want my output here, and then I want the vents everywhere. No, vents everywhere else. Maybe it should show the game world as a background rather than this blueprint system, so you can tell where things are. And then additionally, I hope that's going to fit. I really do. I feel like it isn't, because it's probably going to be the 3 in the middle, and it's going to be too low, one too low. So it needs to actually be 1 higher up, and then it'll probably work. I'm going to move it further away. I think that's the only way to be safe, which is a shame, because it would be nice to put these things nice and close together and just get them to work, and just clip them together with minimal pieces of pipe. But I don't feel confident that I'm going to be able to make the pipelines line up, so I think it's going to have to be separated out a little bit further. So I'll put the other one over here. There it is. So I'm just going to put it all the way over here, because then I should definitely be able to spaghetti the pipe. And it means it's going to need more pipe as well, which is a shame. But what can you do? Which side am I on? Right, I'm on the north, the side where I'd like to put the output. There he is. I think I'm over-venting this. I don't think it needs this many. It probably doesn't even need the second story, but never mind. Right, so hopefully I can get a pipe from there to there without too much shenaniganery, and if I do need shenanigan in, then I'll rebuild it or something, I guess. How are we getting on over here? How much of your construction material has arrived? Boop. 6,000 out of 15,000. Okay. It's getting on there. That's not too bad. Have you been started at all? No, but that's fine. I don't mind. I don't mind waiting for the. I don't mind waiting for the first one to be built before we start on the second one. That's kind of logical. Okay, so we've got a good chunk of solar down here. I'm going to put in a second chunk, I think, just because I've got some of the bits for it. So like that. And bish, bosh, bash. There we go. It's not obviously it's not a full system at that point, but it's a step in the right direction. And also usefully, it's got the parts out of my inventory, which I think is kind of a good thing, because it tidies things up a bit. Right, let's do this one a little bit more properly. So let's get rid of that cable there at the middle, and I would like to run a cable from there to there, and there to there, and also there to there, there. Right, there. So we can do the linking up over here as before, and then over. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I will need so I need to put in a pylon over here to actually hook up to these things. So we'll put you in. I'll put it there, and then give it some foundation to go underneath it. Stop saying invalid copy target, don't be silly. There you go. Have something to stand on. And then I can hook that to that to that to that. And then actually run this from here. Yeah, too many trees in the way. Good to hear. And then along the side here. In hindsight, I should have rotated the solar blueprint before I placed it, but never mind. Too late now. We'll just punch straight through this forest and probably come through and delete the trees in a moment to make things not clip like this. Where's that? There's the hole. No, not there. That's stupid. Don't put it on top of little things like that. Oh, now the trees are on the way. now I can continue the power from there over to this way. That's better, and over to here, and then we select the one of those. No, what? No, that one of those. There we go. Rotate that to like that, and then I can drop the power down here like so. Rotate it that way. No, not that way. That way? Yes. It's the best you're going to get for clipping wise, I think. I feel like running this down the ceiling, I don't know if it makes sense or not, but it feels like it makes sense. I'm going to do this. I wish I could just click and drag, and it would go all the way along without me having to sort of go, oh, I've gone too far, and then go back and click again. Because this is a faff. There. Power! Yay! Oop. And from there to there. Lovely. And then from... What? If I remove that, can I run a power cable from there to there? No. That's... Why are these so limited? Why can you only have 3 power connections on one of these? I feel like it'd be nice to be able to connect. Yeah, that's three connections from one of these wall-mounted power poles. Seems a bit stingy, especially given that the obvious place to use them is with the vein miners, as I'm doing, and the vein miners often come in pairs. I suppose you could, if it was the end of the power line, you could do it, and that'd be fine. But it isn't always going to be. So. Too far. There, and into the corner. Can we get in the corner? Yeah, get right into the corner. And along here. And once again, I've run a bit too close to the wasp name. But never mind. A bit too close to the, run too close to the vein. But that's okay. I don't actually need to go any further with this, do I? Because I think this is going to be, yeah, there we go. Going to be coming around and completing the loop, but you know what, we'll link up there anyway. That way, if I break something later, then we've still got power everywhere. Okay, so are you guys now actually happy? Yes. And you're going to be mining at 160 a minute, and I believe that's a yellow belt. No, it's half a yellow. It's only a red belt. Huh. I thought these guys were faster than that. Okay, well, we'll use a... We'll use yellow belts anyway, because that way I can get both of them onto the same belt. Look at this. Run that all the way down there, straight until morning. And then there'll be another yellow belt coming in from the other two. So that's going to be 320 a minute, and these lifts, the freight elevators are 640 a minute. Okay, so that's going to be both of the ones that come in. That's actually pretty good. Ow. So they're not going to come up there though. That's the entrance for people and stuff. They're going to come up to about here somehow. And we're going to get, I don't know exactly how it's going to work yet, but presumably we're going to have, it won't let me place building block against the building, which is awkward. And I could just build up an entire stack all the way up here. But that feels... But then I'm going to need power up here as well anyway. Okay, we'll build a stack. From... here. Zoop, to... Wait, I've gone too far. As is my way. Right, to here. And across like this. And like this. And from what I've seen... Oh, I don't want to put the elevator in yet. Because if I'm wrong about the just being a straight input, then I'm going to need a bit more space in here to deal with belts. So I think I'm going to let this get finished before I put the freight elevator in. But it's going to come out about here, so that means my tunnel is going to actually have to come across a little bit because I didn't know where this was going to be until I placed it. So maybe in hindsight I should have placed this first, but never mind. That's okay. How are we getting on with construction? Boop. We're at 9,000 out of 15,000 parts brought out, okay? And the construction process is at 60%. So the construction is working as fast as the materials can be brought out to it. That's pretty good. Okay. And the drills are working, so presumably we've got some... Yeah, we've got some xenoferrite down there now. Let's go back down there and let's link up the other... Let's put in a belt for the other two drills. And round this way, and then we get to here, and then we go, oh dear, and we have to sort of fiddle things. So we'll go up and over here. It's slightly crap, but yeah. In hindsight, I should have left slightly more space for the. I should have dug my my working tunnels a bit further out, but you know, you live and learn. Oh, why are you red? Oh, I can't build over the top of the drill. Okay, fine. I thought that was just going to be. I thought that was just sort of cosmetic, but not the sort of cosmetic. But it's a walkway, and it's sort of very much part of the drill, and therefore you can't build on it. I've done a weird. Right. No, that backwards that way. What? Right, you go there. Then you... There we go. Now we're working. Now we're basically functional. And down. There, bring it along here. Actually, this works quite nicely because this just goes straight through behind there and can then pick up the ore as it comes out. So let's do that for now. And then similarly over here. Oh, there's two of them over here. Okay, well this isn't going to be fast enough then. Gonna have to upgrade this to green. Or alternatively, not really care. Well, this bit can be red, I suppose. Oh, I can't replace the whole thing with red. This bit can be red, as can this bit, and then this bit, and this bit, and then we pull that. We don't do that. We pull that up, and then I put in a yellow splitter here to combine the two at full speed, like that. Lovely. Then yes, that's now a full belt, and I believe this is going to. Yeah, this isn't going down by the looks of it. Yeah. Zoop. So over here, I'm going to need a little bit more space if I want to actually merge these properly. So let's take out another chunk like this. And probably another one. Are you running nicely already? Yes, you are. So that's just not going to be able to output anything at this point. Which is why we're going to need a splitter and an upgrade on there. So take that out as well. I said take that out as well. For goodness sake. Right. Then yes, so we'll pull up this belt and this one, and then this one can come out here, and then about here I'll put in a green splitter. There we go, one of these guys. on these guys, like that. Then we can link that belt up to here. And then this belt won't be fast enough, but I can upgrade it to a green like this. Boop. Right, so there we go. Now that is enough to empty all of the mines we put in down here. So 2, 4, 5. And one of those belts is green, which means we can't see it because it's... Oh no! Red belts are red, yellow belts are orange, but green belts are also apparently orange. So, fine. Okay, that's that then. The next thing is going to be the mineral rock, which I believe came from off this way, I think? Let me check the map. I'm in the right corner. I am in the right corner. So I want to go up to about... Were these 50 each? I think these were 50. Yeah, these were at 50 each. So I want to go forward to about 100. So let's get the boring machine back out again. Boring machine? There it is. It would probably be slightly easier to find it if I use its actual name. If I learned it was called the digging ship. Because then when I could sort things into alphabetical order and actually find it. But I don't think that was my main problem there. Oh, we can't even burn seeds. That's a shame. Right, you're going horizontally. We're not steering. Go. What do you mean blocked by obstacle? Go. Okay, apparently there's an obstacle. Oh, I know what the obstacle is. It's one of my pylons. There we go. Right, so if I take that out temporarily, I can hop back in here, rotate that way. Chug, 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 chug. Then it can go. Then I can replace that ceiling pylon. The ceiling pylon is watching you. And then I can carry on ceiling pylon and down here like this as we go. I could potentially run a belt as well, but I want to stick with the boring machine and make sure it doesn't go too far. Right. How are you doing? You've got 34 distance left. Yeah, that's about right actually. Well, we'll stop here. This is a good point. And then we'll rotate the board. That's drilling wang. Right, and then we want to go forwards. How far do we want to go forwards? This is about 100. But I want to stop about here really in this desert patch, and then we can come up to the right level for the mineral rock and do some stuff there. Can't always have an interesting machine. Sometimes you just have to make do with what you've got. Yeah, I think it's fairly interesting, even if you think it's boring. Oh, you can replace the individual belts using control. That's worth knowing. Thank you. I don't know if I'll remember it, but it is worth knowing. I don't know if the solar power, if the solar power system I put in is going to actually be enough to power all the drills and everything that I'm going to put in at the other end of here. But I'm cautiously optimistic. The solar panels in this game do kick out quite a lot of juice, and the drills are quite basic machines. So I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll have enough power. But we'll find out in a minute or 5. Oh. Stop drilling. Right. Let's go back a little bit. I said let's go back a turn. Zip, 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 zip. And turn again. And the distance. It's difficult to click on buttons when your user interface is moving in front of you. Right, let's go back 10. And this is at height of 121. I'm currently at a height of 90, so I want to go up about 30. Confirm. Go up. Go. Smashty, 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 smashty. I then need to turn it back round again and dig a little bit of a hole, and then I can start doing things like putting in freight elevators and whatnot to bring the and of course finding the rock patch. We seem to not be that far underground here, if I'm being I think it feels like we're pretty close to the surface, because we've gone from stone back into earth here. Now we're still definitely underground, but I don't think we're far underground. Right. Poop. There we go. Right, here we are. Do I have any grenades left? I do not. Okay, so I'm going to have to dig this out with the old-fashioned way. I say old-fashioned way. This is a honking great mining laser, which I've not had for very long. So this is probably the newfangled way, really, not the old-fashioned way. And we've got into sort of sandy soil here, so it's pretty quick to dig through it. So it's not going to take too long. This feels like a decent sized patch, to be honest. I think it may keep us going for a while. We'll find out, I guess, at some point. Like once I get all the blast furnace stuff set up, and it lasts for 5 minutes before we suddenly and inevitably run out of all the bits and pieces we need in order to keep it running. I think I'm nearly round. Must be the fourth side. I feel like I've lost count of how many sides I've dug round here, but this must be the fourth one, surely. Nope, apparently that was only the third side. Either that, or this is a I've entered some non-Euclidean geometry around here, which you never know. I was going to say I wouldn't put it past this game, but to be honest, I don't think I suspect it seems pretty unlikely. There we go. Right, so I've now got a nice open area here. So this can be where I put in some of this stuff. And if I go, can we not be in vertical mode, please? Thank you. All the way around here, and then all the way around here. I said, come on, do as you're told. And then all the way around here, and maybe a little bit in the corner. I don't know. Do we need that bit? I'm not sure. Right, so there we go. There is the starting point of my mining patch. Let's get out some mining drills and put them in. I've got 25 of them. That's not bad. 1, 2, 3. I think 4 aside is going to be more than enough to get at least 1, maybe 2 yellow belts of the stuff out of here. In fact, I think it's going to be massive overkill. But the drills are cheap, so I don't feel bad about putting in an excessive number of them. It just means that I don't have to worry about the. If I do actually come back and I want more resource gathering from here, I can just run another belt from here. And it means that as we start to use up the patches, I don't need to worry, because there'll already be plenty of. As I start to use up the patches, there'll already be plenty of drills to ensure that I get a bit more out than I otherwise would. But let's do a little bit more nibbling around the edge here, just to make sure there's room to get the belts through, because there isn't over here. It'd be quite nice actually just to make this whole area square, wouldn't it? But I think that's going to be more drilling than I can be bothered to do. Now, what I should have done, actually, come to think of it, is just come in and marked a huge area for robot drone deconstruction, and then just let my drones get on with it, rather than But then you need to know where everything is in order to be able to mark it out for demolition. So I wouldn't be able to just go take it out for such a distance and then let the drones get on with it. I'd have to do slightly more than that. Right, we need a little bit more space over here like that of this, because I'm going to need to put in a transformer. Do I have any small transformers left? Auto sort. No, I'm only using large transformers these days. Okay, is that going to fit in here? Yes. Okay, sweet. Then I'll put in a... I'm going to put in a freight elevator. And I'm going to put it in... I could put it here. So it drops down. Yeah, let's put it here. So it just drops down straight down to the floor below. Right, so I'll pull that out and pull that out. I think I might need that much space. Oh no, wait, one more that way. So take all of that out. And then I need to demolish some of this. Like that. And then let's fill this. Let's fill this back in again, very temporarily, because most of this is going to get mined back out again by the freight elevator when I put it in. But that's okay. It's the wrong type of sand. I don't care. So I'll put in my freight elevator top. Where is it? Freight elevator top. There we go. Take you, and yes, you are a top. You can go. I can't see. Yes, I can. I can go there. Right. So I then do need to dig out that, and then put in a couple of pieces of this there and there, in order to then put in. Well, I'll do two inserters, because why not? Boom, boom, like that, and then we can run. I have run out of yellow belt, haven't I? Oh, can I still get out of here? Yes, I can. You know what? I could run two red belts into it and call it good enough, because I've got. If I run two red belts in and then I can come back and do yellow from the bottom, that'll be the same speed. So I think that's probably the easiest way to do this. So do from around here. Those along there like that, and then yeah, I should have made this hole a bit bigger. That's I think it is a little cramped. But I can get around in here. It's not too bad. No. Don't be silly. There we go. Right, that goes there. Right, and then yes, these belts. That goes from here, across here, and then around here, and over here, and then through here. Whoop, and over here. About there, and then yes, I'm going to need to punch a bit of a hole there. That's fine, I can do that. Then this is going to come around the outside of these belts and go in there. That inserter is not going to be there. That is going to be there instead, because then I can do an additional one of these belts going from under here to into that one, and then another what is right, and then another belt with slightly fewer bugs. Hopefully, this one can come across here, and then through here, over here. And then join on there, and that is 8 mining drills, each feeding onto a red belt. Each onto, so it's 8 mining drills per red belt, and then 2 red belts going into the one elevator there, which is going to be when I'll have 1 yellow belt running out from the bottom of it once I sort of get that installed. So then down here, that's a bit less off. This isn't quite where I wanted it to. Oh no, this is fine. I mean, this tunnel is only here to get to this patch, and possibly others like it. So I think I'm okay with putting the elevator in the side of it like this. So, freight elevator bottom goes here. Boom. Right, and then power. I got most of the way with power, but then stopped because I got to where I wanted to go. So that goes there, then there. There, and there. Right, so that... Okay, so that's digging its way through. These should now... Yes, these should all start digging. Yep, there we go. Their drones will come out. Zzz, 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 zzz. And they can drop the ore off in here. And there we go. There, we've got the stone running now. Now, we're still digging out the freight elevator column here. But that's fine. It'll finish that off all by itself. And then... Oh, I'm going to need a power supply down here, aren't I, as well? I'm not going to run another... I'm not going to stick in another transformer at the bottom. That's ridiculous. I will instead... Yeah, I'll run some foundation down the vertical here. I suppose given that, I could have put the transformer at the bottom. But never mind. So let's knock out a column down here, and then I'll fill this up with foundation in a moment. Then we can use that to empty the freight elevator at the bottom. So that goes from there to there, and from there to there, and there, and there. Now I can put in an exerter down here like that. Yeah, that's now happy apart from the lack of conveyor. Right. Okay. Yes, of course, I upgraded a belt, didn't I? I forgot about that. I upgraded one of my belts to green, so that's gained me a lot more, a load of yellow belt back. So I can run this all the way along here like this. And again. How am I... Oh, of course, there's a jink in the corridor. That's fine. Oh, and now I've run out. But still, that is a decent distance coming along there. Right, let's go and find out if they've finished building my blast furnace yet. Looks like they have. Wow. Look at the size of that. Jeez. Okay. So, up here, I'm just going to put in a little bit of soil, because I'm going to need 2 freight elevators coming up here. Put that there and there. And then from my pocketses, I will produce... okay, they're slightly bigger than I thought, but never. Actually, this seems to be fine. So I'll put, and these are meant to be tops, so I'll put one there and one there. And then... What's my position here? 813, 169. Bonk. Right. Yeah, stick with the full-size tunnel, just because it looks nice if they're all the same size, I think. So it takes over to 813, actually a bit further than 813. Let's go to 810 at least. Although I'll probably hollow the whole area out around where the elevators are going to be, just for sort of neatness and sake of neatness. Okay, well that's a little further than necessary, but never mind. It's only rock. Right, now if I go through here, I should quite quickly find the bottoms of the freight elevators, and then I can get them building themselves. Oh, I'm going to need power here as well. Oh, just to load the freight elevators. So, I guess that's going to be another... oh, there's one. Actually, there's the middle of the 2 of them, which is even better. There's the back. So now I can do... I do wonder if you could put 2 resources through the same freight elevator, or whether it would just fill up with one of them and jam. I feel like it's probably going to fill up with one of them and jam, but I have to admit I don't know. Alright, and then the bottom's the freight elevators, so we grab that and tell it to be a bottom end, and it goes there and there. Right, and now they'll dig themselves in. Yeah, because I do have power, kind of, in this area. Fine, let's be a little bit neater. Rather than putting in yet... In fact, I don't have power in this area yet, but I was thinking, but I'm going to need to. I've got high voltage power at the top of here, but I haven't actually got low voltage. Even though I've got all this foundation and solar panels right next to it. So, let's drop down here. Let's put in another transformer. I'm at the stage of the game now where I reckon I might as well just use a large transformer for everything. Oh, come on. And then discover that we've got... Grumble, 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 grumble. What's the range on one of these cables? I don't actually know, so I'm just going to be... better safe than sorry. So build this all the way over to... Can we stop building vertically, please? Thank you. Put that in there instead. Get rid of that one. Boom. And then I can... I might have gone a little bit carried away with just how close I went here, but never mind. Better safe than sorry, I reckon. So then the hole over here has that trench there. So I now want to extend the trench a little bit over this way, like this. Like that, and then I can run a piece there and there. Then back over to vertical mode. All the way down here to the bottom. I'll leave a gap actually for the moment because I'm going to then want to dig a trench like this. Hide my cables. Right, and then we can have a trench going across here, and this will allow me to power the inserters. Keep leaving it in vertical mode. Right, there we go. There and there. And then I can go... Wait, I am now basically completely out of belts. So, actually, I might still have some green belts. I've got 6. And 116 reds, but I don't really want to use reds because they're slow. Right, okay, so it's time to go back and replenish my belt supply. How are we getting on over here? Because the second building is now, well, building. There's my that scaffolding is my freight elevators, which is a little bit ugly, but I need to get the resources up to this level. So, what can you do? Ooh, this is somewhere where I can use some of those green belts. Put them in the wrong place. I forgot how big inserters are in this game. I mean, I could botch it. No, I was going to say I could botch it in, but then I actually can't. Well, I could, but I could have it come out the side around the back or something. But no, that's awful. Let's remove that. Remove that, and then put in an additional piece of foundation across there like that, and then I can put the freight elevators back in, except I probably can't. No, because there's other ones in the way. Bop. I say in the way, there's other ones down here, and that means this stripe is in the wrong place as well. Yeah, that's what I thought, Bob. I just reckoned it wasn't going to end well if I tried to put multiple items through an elevator. It's probably FIFO, and therefore you'd end up... I'm imagining that you're going to use a lot more iron ore than you are the other thing. Is that in the right place? No. You can use a lot more iron ore than you are mineral rock. Limestone. So yeah, you'd end up filling it up with limestone and it wouldn't work, even if you use filter inserters at the top. Right, so we can have those there, and then I can do this and I'll put 2 on. Yeah, I'll put 2 on this one. It's probably excessive, but I've got the parts, so I might as well. That and that and that. Right, so that's my inputs going. No, it would be if I did that and that and that. Oh yeah, I need coked thingy as well. Oh, I hadn't thought. I'd forgotten about that. That's going to make this even worse. Okay. This is probably this. Why am I bothering to dig out that? I don't know. What? I've run out. I've run out of foundation. I'm impressed that I've got that close to my exact limit of the amount of foundation I've got. That's impressive. Alright, so I'm going to need to get the coked stuff up there as well. I had completely forgotten about that. That's going to be difficult because I've just blocked all of the inputs. Oh well, we'll burn that bridge later. For now, let's go and get some more belts. Blast furnace activated. Okay, well we can't turn it on. Operating mode. Xenoferrite. Stats overview. 800 xenoferrite ore, 400 coked ignium, and 160 mineral rocks. If we give it everything it could possibly need. $800. Okay. That's... Wow, that's a green belt and a blue... that is in fact a green belt and a red belt. 800 a minute. Ignium, yeah, so I completely forgot about the ignium. And... Okay, well, I guess remove this. And put it here instead. And then it's kind of going to work. I'll just have to bring the ignium up and put it in here. So that's sort of okay. In fact, this is basically how it's going to have to be. I'm just going to need another freight elevator on the side here to bring the ignium up. Or I just put my entire landing pad at this level. That's a possibility. Ooh, let's play with pipes. Oh no, I won't have enough pipes. I won't have enough pipes to link these together. Conveniently, they're at the same height, which is nice, unlike the other ones. Oh, put another input port on it. Okay. That would be easier. And yeah, my concrete's kind of useful. I feel like I might as well keep it. What am I looking for? Pipeline. There it is. Yeah, I've got 6 pieces of it. But that will go there. That's easy enough. And we have... Then we have some... How many did that use? That only used 1 piece. That's interesting. But that presumably will use 1 piece as well. So it's much more efficient to build things out of curves or T-intersections than straights. Which is kind of silly. Are you lined up? I can't tell because there's a pipe in the way. Yes, you are. What? No, don't be like that. Why are you like this, as they say? There we go. Right, there's my hot air input. There's no hot air in it, but there is an input nonetheless. I wouldn't have had enough pipe if I put them down in separately there, because I'm now down to 1 piece left. I'd have been 1 short, so it had to be a T-junction. That's ridiculous, but never mind. Right, you're going to need a fuel supply being brought in as well, so that's going to take another. That's going to be another big job. Let's go and get the belts, and oh, actually, before I go, can I just chuck the stone from my inventory into this thing? Can I do that? No. Okay, I'm just going to have a load of stone in my inventory that I can't do anything with then. Right, back over to the main factory, which I think is there. I'll get some more belts. I'll finish that off. Get some more foundation as well. And then yes, then it's going to be go off and get a coal patch coaling, and then we're going to need to coke that. But that shouldn't be too hard to coax together. That's just cook it, so that's not too bad. But I'll need smelters for that. And I have 10 advanced smelters, so that's enough for a start. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but it's enough to start with. Belts. No, I need better belts than this. I mean, I might as well get some reds as well, I suppose, but... or just chuck them in there, I suppose. Gimme. Right, that's going to easily be enough to finish that system off. Is there... oh yeah, let's take some more pipe over. Let's get some more of the pipeline as well, because I'm going to need... where's pipeline being made? It was being made next to the pipes. Yes, here we go. 250, that's a healthy amount. Okay, I approve of that. My brain is very full now. I don't know what else I need. I don't know what else I'm going to need for this system. So I'm going to need bajillion casting machines eventually. I'm going to need a flare stack by the sounds of it, at least temporarily, until I decide I want to start making concrete from it. I've got the smelters already. I am going to need a supply of coal. So, is there any coal anywhere? Actually, there's coal here. I could go and dig that up and then put it onto my tunnel of doom all the way down here, and then chuck it in, and then bring it along here and put it in another freight elevator. That feels slightly nicer than flying it in, because I don't like flying resources around. It just feels a bit weird and wrong and silly. So maybe we'll do that, but I don't think that's a today task. Right. But I do kind of want to start chucking the I want to start chucking the ore and the stone in there, because I've got that far, and I think since I'm fairly close, I might as well put in a belt, an elevator to bring in the coal when it's ready. There's my massive construction, glowing in the dark, which is interesting because we've not pumped any power of any kind into it yet. But it's just happy. So I'll put in another one of these. Boff. I should have put these the other way round. They'd have fitted much more nicely. Oh, you need to be... oh, wait. No. You need to talk about... you don't need to be there. That's just wrong. These need to come across here a little bit further, like... I didn't get more scaffolding blocks. Ah. Didn't collect more foundation. That's going to be a pain. Yeah, so now, yes, you can be an output. Then drop down here. Biff. And then discover I'm trapped in the back. I mean, I have the technology to escape from here. Wait, what? Oh. Dig out a little bit more hole here, like this. Why am I not using a 2x2? Hurrah, hurrah. Right, and then we put in another one of those there, like that. And then we go, oh no, I'm still out of foundation. But I'll dig the trench for it anyway. Oh no, I've got that one block that I needed there. Alright, so we're gonna have... I can't remember what order these are in. Let's go and get the belts. Oh yeah, it was the ore, the iron ore first. That's fine. That was... No. Yes. To there, and then the green one to there, and then to there. Then we have the stone. I'm pretty sure jetpack is faster than walking. I'll go to there, and then along here, whoop, and there, and so just go to there, and then I'll dig out a little bit more here. Oh. Ridiculous tools. Right, cut this through to one more there, and you know what, let's lift the ceiling a little bit as well. Raise the roof. Boop. It's quite hard to get nice, neat cuts with some of the more advanced, with the bigger laser sizes, because it just wants to build huge. It wants to take out bigger chunks than that, basically. Right, so that's going to be my coal input eventually, when I finally have some coming out this way. It's going to be another boring machine job away, but that's fine. Why is there no power? I thought there was a... What? What? Diddly... There's this power connection here. How is there no power on this? How do I check whether something's got power? Can I do it with this? No. Let's go back up to the top and drop a. I can drop inserters on it. To be fair, if I put an inserter here, what's its complaint? No building. Right. Okay. Fine. So that one's got power. No, it hasn't. It was lying to me. There's one block missing here. Don't need any of that. That can all go away. There we go. Now, that should... Yeah, there we go. Now we've got flowing belts. Lovely. And I think I might have overloaded this elevator a little bit, but never mind. I'd rather have too much than too little, and maybe we'll invent a better elevator at some point in the future. We shall wait and see. Okay, right. This is, I think, a good point to stop, because it is nearly tomorrow, and I feel like I've hit a good point to stop. So this has been a very different stream, because I have built an enormity, and I've built three enormities. In fact, they're all linked together. Oh, you know what? Let's put in the other pipe as well. So I've done the three big pipes along here, and I'll get rid of that one extra piece that's sitting in my inventory taking up space. Now, can I do it? No, I can't do a smart build from here. That's a pain. But I can do that, and I can put you on there. Actually, let's start from there. If I do this all the way to here... Oh, nice. They are actually at the same height. I was actually quite worried about that. Okay, but they're not quite lined up there. So I can do that, and then go back to the straight, rotate that, and put it in there. Okay, good. That's easier than I feared. Now it would make sense they'd design the game so everything would line up. And also now I've got plenty of the stuff. Let's get rid of that and just use straights in here. There we go. It looks a little bit more sensible now. So yeah, it makes sense they design it so that the buildings would all be at the same height, but I was a little bit worried, because especially there weren't any sort of tiny little S-bends that would lift it up one space. So I'd have had to go down, go across, up a tiny bit, and then across again to get it up one. So there are some high voltage power supply connections on here, I see. So I guess that's going to need to be connected. I suppose I could do that. Are you a HV connection? Yes, I think you are. But I'm going to need to bring this through to here first. And I can link it to that. Lovely. And I can bring you to here and link to... Nope, maybe not. That to... Yeah, that's pretty good. Can we... Oh, do we not want to... Oh, because it's running off fuel, it doesn't need power at all. Does this need power at all? No. Okay, interesting. These seem to be unpowered machines. I'm surprised by that, but okay, no problem. Right, so yes, I have built myself a gargantuan blast furnace. This thing is enormous. It's also miles away from everything else, but you know what? I still feel like that's quite an achievement. Also expanded the solar out a little bit. I did a new type of drone over here, so that was nice. I haven't put down a spaceport for it yet because I was waiting for the drones, the bots to dig out that area, which they've now done. So I could go in and put in a spaceport. But basically, I've mostly ignored the factory. I've been building this area over here. So got vein mining happening over here from 5 patches, all going out onto belts, running down a tunnel to come out to here to go into the blast furnace. Same with mineral rock, which is coming from there to down here to go into there. And I'm going to do the same with coal from up here next time. I'm going to bring a very, very long belt all the way down to here. And at some point along here, I'll coke it as well. Get it ready to go straight into the blast furnace. That should be fairly straightforward. And then after that, I can look at the outputs on the blast furnace, which are down here. Which are some... Oh, there's one. So you're... Okay, we need to set filters on them. Sweet. So we get the molten xenoferrite to come out here. Okay, lots of hot air. Yeah, we can get the molten xenoferrite to come out here, and we can get the slag to pour out round here. Bip and bop. So that's going to come out of this pipe and the other pipe over there. So these are just normal pipes, presumably. So I can just whack one of these on there. That looks reasonable to me. Okay, good. So that's going to be a nice, easy way of getting the fluids out, and we can then pass them off into machines to do important things with them, turn them into ingots, which will then somehow get to the main factory over here. Probably going to be another massive tunnel, if I'm being honest. Massive tunnels seem to be the best way to get resources around. Okay, so that I think is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe, etc., etc. Yeah, there'll be some videos coming out on the YouTube channel tomorrow and Friday. So there'll be a Factorio Planetary Pioneers video tomorrow and a Foundry one on Friday. So keep an eye out for those. Yes, I've made the hot air cooker is going to take in. Is going to be fueled. Yes, I've designed this so it's going to be fairly easy to expand. Fairly easy to expand. So I could put in an additional one of those here. Additional air intakes might be a little bit tricky, but I can move them a bit closer. Yeah, so I can expand this out this way if necessary. So it is built with expandability in mind to an extent. Yeah, so Foundry video on Friday, and then there'll be Factorio Planetary Pioneers stream on Monday at 7:30 PM UK time. That's with the 5 of us, and we went out to the weird planet of Cubium last time, and many strange cubes were found. Hopefully, I think we'll probably finish Cubium off in the next stream, but we'll see how that goes, and then we'll start thinking about using the tech from there, maybe going off to another planet. We'll see how things go, and I'll be back to play some more Foundry next Wednesday at 8 PM as tonight, where I shall be getting all of this up and running as I've been describing. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope it's been enjoyable, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe, etc., etc., etc. If you're watching on Twitch, please hang around. I'll go off and see if I can find anyone else playing Foundry, and we can go off and raid them. So, yes, I think that's everything for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Good night. Well, except for those of you on Twitch, of course, because we're going to go and see who we can find. So, let's have a look. Raid. Anyone I'm following playing at the moment? Are they playing anything? What's that? Okay, I'm not seeing any. None of the people I'm following are playing Foundry, but let's check out something like. Yeah, goodbye, Scotira. Bye, Rob. Bye, Regular. Good night, everyone. Yes, good night, everyone. Foundry. Is anybody playing Foundry? Yes. Oh, Twisted Crash again. Yeah, we invaded him last time, so let's go and see how he's getting on this time. Right, 10 seconds and it'll be there. So yeah, thank you very much for watching once again. I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.